Well, hello guys, how are we going? Welcome to the Canelo Alvarez Jaime Munguia watch along, and it's absolutely perfect timing because Figueroa has just knocked out Magdaleno with a body shot right on the bell of round number 10, and it's led straight into what was the perfect situation here is the main support, and then of course the main event. So good to see we've got a couple in the chat already. Ian Davenport. Wow, Mexican boxers taking over. I think this whole card's pretty much stacked with Mexican fighters, Ian. It's still there. We'll be at the pub with a counter mill, but we'll watch replay here after. Cheers. No worries, mate. Well, woohoo to you too. So how we all been there, guys? It's going to be, look, a great day of boxing, I think. It's been an eventful lead up, of course, hasn't it? What about the press conference this week? It was quite bizarre, wasn't it? I had a little bit to say on my Instagram about it, but what have we got there? Eileen Whitten. I'm not sure. Are you a boxing fan, Eileen? I hope you are. I don't want to assume anything, of course, but if you are, welcome to the chat. But yeah, look, it's been a very, very eventful week. What did you make of Oscar De La Hoya? He had his little stick out poking the bear, Canelo Alvarez, and he got the result that he wanted. I'm not so sure I like the happenings after that, now threatening legal action and all this sort of stuff. Well, my thing with that is, Oscar, you started it. Don't be surprised if Canelo bites back, unless it was obviously deliberate. He did say that he was put up to it by the promoters. I thought he was obviously one of the promoters, but yeah, so he's saying that. But anyway, so what do we think, guys? What is the tips for today? Very basic for me. I think Jaime Munguia, he comes to fight, he'll have a crack, but I just think the class of Canelo Alvarez will just be too much for Jaime Munguia. He's an exciting fighter, is Munguia, but I just think he plays into the hands of Canelo Alvarez. Canelo is such a patient type of fighter. I think the fact that Munguia comes to him and will be throwing lots of punches, I just think it'll just work into Canelo's style. And I think that Canelo Alvarez will slowly pick him apart and maybe get him out of there in the late rounds. Worst case, I think win a comprehensive decision. But anything can happen in this game. We sat here a couple of weeks ago with Ryan Garcia with that win over Devin Haney. There's been many upsets over the journey, so we'll see what we'll see. So coming up next, we have it escapes me there. Fill me in there, guys. I do have it here. I just saw him warming up 2 seconds ago. I will say the undercard hasn't been overly stimulating. I was not overly excited. I love the fact that there was actually 4 world title fights on the card. That's great. But I'm not so sure about the actual quality of the matchups. I know the promoters have got to look after the fighters and get them on a certain amount of times per year and on these pay-per-views, all that sort of stuff. But a little bit underwhelming if you ask me. So what is it now? It's 12 o'clock, so the main event should be on, just after 1 o'clock today. So we'll see what transpires then. I'm just looking up the next fight. It's just totally gone over my head, so apologies about that. So with the press conference the other day, as I said, I think Oscar said he was actually put up to it by certain people, and that's cool. But as I said, if you're going to go out there and do that, well, just be prepared for the ramifications of Canelo having a go. If you haven't seen it as well, someone has put it up on Instagram as they just show Canelo Alvarez on there hugging Julio Cesar Chavez, the 2 greatest Mexican fighters of all time. And I really like that, even though obviously Canelo beat Chavez's son. I think Julio Sr. would have expected that, but great to see these 2 guys hanging out. There's nothing worse when you see 2 legends from a particular country or just anywhere really that maybe don't get along. There's a little bit of friction, plenty of egos in the sport, of course, but there's plenty of mutual respect there from the guys. And Julio Cesar Chavez, who can forget his feats 20 or 30 years ago. One of my favourite fighters growing up was Julio Cesar Chavez. But as I said, if you didn't see the Instagram with the Oscar and Canelo press conference altercation with the subtitles, very, very interesting. Pretty much, as you would have seen, Oscar said it in English about Canelo, that he was made by Golden Boy, put some respect on his name, all that sort of stuff. And of course, Canelo Alvarez has pretty much responded with he rips off his fighters, he's a thief, he's a cheat, he's a scammer, whatever you might want to call it. Depends on how you word it, obviously in English. But it was very, very entertaining, that's for sure. There's Gutless in the chat. G'day, Gutless. What do you think of today, mate? Who's going to win? Let me know your thoughts in the chat there, guys. And again, if you haven't been to these before, I did stipulate this is not a live stream. Last time we did the Nikita Zoo fight with Danilo Creati, we had at one stage 15,000 people watching our stream. It was bizarre, and I don't think we'll ever get there again. But I've got no doubt it was obviously a lot of people from overseas that saw the watch along, didn't really interpret it properly or understand it properly. As they obviously thought it was an actual watch along, and we had a lot of people saying, well, why can't we actually see it or hear it? So. But to stipulate that, it's a watch along now. So what it is, I'm going to watch the fight. I'm sure a lot of you out there are watching it yourself. So it's two pronged, this one. If you're watching it yourself, it's a great opportunity to have you say, what do we think? Comment on the decisions, comment on the rounds, comment on the fight itself, whatever else you want to talk about as we go along. So if you ever, and I tend to watch the fights by myself, like the football and everything else. And sometimes you find that you're sitting there watching it. You want to vent. And you can't, there's no one to vent with. So this is what this is about, guys. It's as long as they're respectful, by the way. But to give your comments, give your opinions, all that sort of stuff, feedback, whatever it might be, throw in some questions in between rounds or between fights or whatever it might be, and just engage with myself and the other fans out there. And then, of course, there's the other side of the coin, which is if you can't watch it, this is the best live updates you're going to get because I'm going to be calling it. I won't say blow by blow, but we'll give it a crack anyway. So, all right. So they're just interviewing David Benavides now. Of course, he's got a fight. I think it's June 22nd. There's James Brown in the chat. Love that name, James. Good afternoon to you too, mate. Are you guys watching the fight or are you just watching me watch the fight? Let me know. Gutless says Canelo wins, then Benavides. Well, the problem with that, though, Gutless, is that Benavides is fighting in June. So is September too much of a turnaround? I've just got a bad feeling that, is it a bad feeling that he's going to fight Edgar Berlanga? Look, Berlanga, he's okay, but does it really get the blood pumping? I don't think so. And look, besides that, who else has he got to fight? So... There's James with Canelo as well. So, or by KO. I don't know. So it's only, 2.5 months after Benavides' fight. Look, maybe he's going to have an easy time with his opponent. And again, it escapes me who he's fighting. The Russian. Is it the Russian? Yeah, it's a Russian. As I interview Jaime Munguia now, he looks pretty confident. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure it's going to be David Benavides, Gutless. I'm just thinking they might save that one till May next year. But then we've also got the argument of if Benavides goes to 175, can he come back to 168? I mean, I know a lot of people out there say, well, it's only 7 pounds, but when you're already struggling to get down to 168 and then you let yourself go just a tad, was it 3 kilos, 3.5 kilos here and 7 pounds, the ones that use the other system. So, yeah, I don't know. Can he come back? Will he want to come back? I don't sort of blame him, to be honest, for saying to Canelo, you know what, I'm not going to wait around for you forever. There's plenty of other good fights out there. Of course, Benavides and Bivol would be the logical one, and we'll talk about that. Can you believe that fight's off? But, yeah, I don't know. I've got a feeling it's going to be Berlanga. Gutless, just, I won't say it's a hunch, but I just think it's the fight that's going to happen. I'm not excited by that at all, especially because I'm going to be there in September. I'm going to be there for the September fight in Vegas. So I was really hoping it'd be Benavides, but I'm losing faith there, mate. Gutless, eventually or never. I've just got a feeling it's never going to happen, mate. I don't know. Look, if you look at it, that Bivol and Benavides were fighting in, June 1st, would make perfect sense that the winner of that fight and Benavides' fight, who's in the same month, would fight next, and Canelo would get to fight Berlanga in September, and then maybe we might get Benavides next year. But I've just got a feeling if Benavides goes up and maybe wins that belt, I don't think he beats Bivol or Benavides, just to make that clear. But if that's to say he did win that, would he really want to come back to 168 for Canelo? He would be the top dog at 175. He would probably most likely fight the person he'd won in a rematch. And then let's say it's been Bivol. He might fight Bivol twice, and then he might have Benavides, who might be back in the winner's circle. So no, he might just be tied up for a little while. Then you got Morrell at light heavyweight as well. Just so many options there for him. So I'm just not sure the fight's going to happen there, mate. And look, and unlike a lot of people out there, I'm not going to purely judge Canelo's career on fighting Benavides or not. I think it's ridiculous to. Look, I will say that he deserves criticism if the fight doesn't happen 100%. But to define his career, no, Canelo is an absolute legend. Many great fighters over the years haven't maybe fought one or two guys that we would love to have fought. It's just boxing. It's a business, remember. They fight certain guys at different times. And is he ducking him? Well, maybe there's a case for that. I don't think it's a case of ducking him. I just think they're selecting the right fights at the right time. But look, I wouldn't have, to be honest with you, I wouldn't even have a huge issue if the powers that be with Canelo's camp said, look, this guy's all wrong for us. He's big, he's strong, he's going to outweigh us by probably 20 pounds on fight night. Do we really want, as they say in America, do we really want the smoke of someone like Benavides? Now, is that a duck? Probably. But, yeah, I just think at this stage of Canelo's career, it's got to be purely business decisions. He did say in the documentaries I've been doing with him on was main event here. I think it's on DAZN as well. The 24/7 type of documentaries they've been doing, that he doesn't know how long he's got to go. He's going to leave it purely up to the body and the mind and the desire and all that sort of stuff, how long he stays in the sport. So maybe it might happen, but at this stage, Gutless, I would say I don't think it happens. Just a thought. The first fight on the main card was awesome. Yeah, it was, James. The only problem is I missed a lot of it. I was out. I had to walk the dog and do a few things around the house before I sat down. So I missed most of it, mate. The last fight wasn't overly exciting. We got the knockout in the end, but I will watch that later there, mate. There's Ed Woodson. How you going there, mate? What's up? And to the chat. Yep, great to have you along there, mate. I'm assuming it's probably about, 6 o'clock in the evening over there on the West Coast. Asbot is in the chat. Welcome, Asbot. Adam, g'day, Lyndon. Hope you're well. Hope you're well too, Adam. I've had a bit of a rough weekend, if I'm going to be fair, Adam. I went to the football on Friday night. I was very, very confident that the Blues would get over the Pies, and it was just history repeating itself. Started really well, led by 19 or 20 points, whatever it was, and slowly but surely the Pies ground us down. It was level with a minute and a half to go, but I had that sinking feeling in my stomach that what was going to happen did, and Nick Dacos, great player, sunk the Blues, and the Pies got over the Blues by a goal, as they always seem to do. But anyway, we're not talking football today, we're talking boxing. I'm just waiting for Peter Nutt, I think he's a mad Collingwood supporter, to get on here and give me a hard time. All right, Gutless, fair enough. Some are saying he's scared of David. Oh, look, scared is the wrong word, mate. Fighters, elite fighters, especially fighters like Canelo, they're not scared of anyone, mate. It's just, is it the right fight at the right time? And as I said, his handlers might be saying, this guy's just all wrong for us. Look, I still think Canelo beats Benavides, even with the size difference. Canelo's 5'8". Mario Barrios is the next fight, by the way. I don't know why I couldn't remember him. And Fabian Maidana is the next fight up. So we'll sort of comment on it as we're going as well. But the size difference, the height, the reach, Benavides, the style. He really likes to go after fighters. I think it works into Canelo's favour. And as I said, I still think he wins the fight. But does he really need that type of fight at this stage of his career? And as I said, is it a duck? Possibly, but it's purely a business decision, Gutless. I don't think Canelo's scared of anyone, especially David Benavides. And look, I know he gets the rap of being the big bad, killer on the rise. I understand all that, but he's never fought someone like Canelo either with the skill and precision and timing. Canelo's got it all, and that's why he's such a great fighter. He's got great balance. He's got great footwork. Really, really good skill, obviously. Good timing. Very underrated defense as well. And I just think the way Benavides telegraphs his punches, I just think it would be easy for Canelo to roll with the punches, to block the punches and counter. So tough fight. But as I said, it's purely a business decision, not the fact he's scared, if you ask me. There's Glenn in the chat. How are you, Glenn? If I can get you up there. Hope you're having a good day, mate. Asbot, good to hear. Benavides going up. Yeah, I think it's a good move, Asbot. I don't begrudge him at all by saying, hey, I'm not going to wait for Canelo. I still want to fight him. I still think I can maybe get down to 168, but I'm not going to wait around and be held to ransom by Canelo. And I'm going to go up and chase his greatness. 9-12 in Chicago. So that's obviously the East Coast. Sorry to hear, mate. Unfortunately, don't watch aerial ping pong. Mate, come on, Adam. You've been a little bit harsh there, mate. Aerial ping pong. I think that's gone out years ago. What do we call the league guys? The bum sniffers? Just quickly, Adam, on that. Now, I'm obviously AFL through and through. I don't know anything about rugby league. Or is it just league? I've just got to call it league. But through my business, I actually got to meet Chris Walker a couple of weeks ago. Now, I had no idea who he was. I sat down, I met him for a coffee. Had a couple of people come up and shake his hand. This is in Melbourne, by the way. So I had no idea who he was. As I said, it was through a business sort of relationship. I met him for a coffee, and he did say to me, I said, you obviously are someone important. He said, well, not really anyone important, but I used to play rugby league. And then he said he used to play, I think, for the Storm, for the Broncos, for a few others. But a really, really nice guy. But it's funny that he said to me, I asked him about the AFL rugby league sort of rivalry sort of thing, and he actually said, hey, to be honest with you, mate, he said AFL and rugby league players, we're all mates, we all get on, we all hang out, we're all, we do things together, business relationships, all that sort of stuff. It's only the fans that get all bent out of shape about what's better. Myself, mate, I couldn't really care less about league. I'm not going to bag it or anything. I just don't watch it. I do look at the scores for the Storm to see whether they've won. I think they're doing okay, but I don't actually watch any games. But Adam, do yourself a favour, mate. Watch an AFL game, or better yet, go to the MCG. There was 90,000 people there on Friday night for the greatest game in the world, Australian rules football. I'll wait for your reply. All right, Asbot, I agree. Too many twits throwing Canelo under the bus over him voiding one fight. How quickly we forget everything he's already done. Well, mate, reel off the names. I mean, pick him off the top, man. Floyd Mayweather, Miguel Cotto, Triple G, John Ryder. Not that I know he's a superstar, but Erislandy Lara. Even back in the day, Shane Mosley. He's just fought. Let me know if I've forgotten a few fights there, guys. But pretty much unified the super middleweight division in 12 months. 11 months, actually, if you want to be specific. So that is a sign of a great fighter. He obviously the Bivol fight didn't work out for him, but I love the fact that he didn't let it define him. He put it behind him and said, "Oh, that didn't work out." Didn't pursue a rematch. I know a lot of people had to go at him about that. Well, a lot of other fighters have lost fights and not gone back to redeem them. I think he realised that, okay, the 175-pound division against an elite fighter in Bivol is obviously a great fighter. Is Bivol. It's a little bit different to go up and knock out an aging, disinterested Kovalev. So I don't begrudge him at all by saying, you know what, that didn't work out. Maybe I'll dare to be great in my own division. Because you've got to remember, he's not a big guy. And I think he's more a natural 160-pounder, not even 168. I just think he fights at 168 like Pacquiao and Mayweather did later in their careers, and Hearns and Leonard and these types of guys. They fought in divisions that were, as they got older, that they were comfortable in and didn't kill themselves to make weight. And that's probably why I think Canelo is at 168 now. But in my mind, he's more of a 160-pound fighter. But he realised that going up at heavy against a great fighter in Bivol is just too much to bite off. And he's gone back and done his thing. So AFL is called kick and a giggle, isn't it? No, mate. It's if I understand if you're a league supporter, it's pretty much expected of you to kick AFL. But mate, all I'm saying is get to a big game at the MCG, and I guarantee you will change your thoughts very quickly. And Chris Walker himself said he admired AFL because of how tough it is. I think we get all caught up in the way it's played, but I can tell you it's a brutal game. I know it's not like league where you're continually just running in and pounding each other, but some of the some of the hits and the tackles and that sort of stuff. It's pretty rough stuff. But anyway, each to their own. After all the AFL rule changes, I prefer rugby these days. Yeah, that's probably one thing, Gutless, I really do admire about the league, guys. I think they haven't had too many rule changes over the years to soften the sport. I'm sure they have. I know concussion's a big issue at the moment, so that's understandable. You're right, that stand rule. I won't try and explain it to the non-AFL fans out there, but it's under 12 sort of stuff they've brought in, but still a great game. But anyway, David Jenkins, how you go, mate? Are you doing the Maloney fight on Monday? Sort of, David. Now, of course, it's Monday night. It's Talking Boxing night. It's my favourite show to do, and a lot of you guys out there always comment on it as well. And our views have been pretty good. So what I'm going to do, David, because it starts at about 6 o'clock, the card, I'm going to be doing Talking Boxing, but I'm going to do it sitting right here where I am now. This is in my, what's sort of a lounge room. It's my sort of studio sort of thing. But anyway, so I've got the fights on here because it's pay-per-view. I can't just watch it on the computer, so it's pay-per-view. So I'm going to do it right here, the Talking Boxing. And as I'm doing Talking Boxing, when Jason's fight comes up, we'll do a little bit of the watch along as well. So it's going to be a combination of Talking Boxing and Jason's fight. So I'm thinking he'll be the co-main event, David. So I'm thinking he might be on at about 8 o'clock, maybe 8:30, something like that. So, but whenever he comes on, yes, I will be doing the watch along. So hopefully, if I start at 7 o'clock and he's not on till about 8 o'clock, at least we'll get an hour of Talking Boxing, and then we'll have an hour of Jason's fight. So I hope that answers your question, mate. So a little bit of both on Monday. Little brother syndrome on behalf of the rugby league fans. Yeah. Look, I'm not going to get into the whole argument, but let's just say AFL is just unmatched as far as crowd attendances and TV viewership and membership and what the sport brings. However, before I get everyone jump on me about that, I do really admire, I don't admire him as a person, to be honest, but that Peter V'landys, I think he's a bit of a peanut as far as a man goes, a person. But I'll tell you what he's doing with that game up there, taking it overseas. And look, it's never going to take off in America as much as they say it's not going to happen. Let's just say rugby league will never take off in America. However, I love the fact that he took the game to Vegas. I think behind closed doors, they wouldn't really care whether it really takes off in America, but the fact that they're over there, they bring a lot of people over there, they get a lot of sponsorship money, a lot of TV viewership. I take my hat off to him. I really do. I think he's a front runner as far as business, being business savvy, and I think he's showing the AFL a clean set of heels on that. AFL tend to follow rugby league on a lot of things business-wise, but again, you can't dispute the fact that AFL is still king. I'm sorry, rugby league guys, but that is fact. You might not like the game, but it is the number one sport in Australia by a mile. So I'll move on before I have everyone come at me. All right, Mutsy went to a game at SCG. I really liked it live. TV doesn't do it justice, yeah. And I've been to a rugby league game before Mutsy. I went to the State of Origin a few years ago and absolutely loved it. It was really, and actually it was exciting. I think Queensland might have won. I think it was 2003, so a long time ago. Queensland won it. They got a try in the State of Origin. That was at Marvel Stadium in Melbourne in about the last 20 seconds, I think it was. It was. And look, this is the one thing about Victorians too, guys. They'll get behind any sport. Doesn't matter. They've got the rugby State of Origin. the league State of Origin. I think at the MCG this year, and they'll get 90,000 there. So that's one thing you can't begrudge the Mexicans down here. Am I allowed to say that these days? They call us the Mexicans because we turn out for big events. Seeing the Swans live twice. Good cure for insomnia. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, fair enough, mate. All codes of football have lost me with the woke crap, yeah. I will say, though, James, one good thing the AFL did this week, it was the awareness. And first of all, I hate any sporting body getting involved in political issues. I hate, they did the BLM thing, they did the pride thing, and they've done all sorts of other things. Anything political, I don't think it's a place in the sporting landscape. I think you'll always alienate a certain section of people, so I just don't think it's worth it. Just stay out of it. However, one thing the AFL have done this week, which I really support, is the domestic violence issue we have, not just in Australia, but all over the world at the moment. And they did I think they did a I don't think it was a minute silence, but they all grouped together, and it's been a big campaign, fundraiser, all that sort of stuff, awareness. So I really liked that. I don't mind those type of stands, but anything political, stay out of it. Because as I said, you're going to alienate half your audience. Why bother? And I really felt for the BLM, that was 3 or 4 years ago when they did that. Now, I don't care what side of the fence you're on. We've all got our own views on. That was when, obviously, the George Floyd things was happening. And here in Australia, they use it for our issues here as well. But to make every single player in the league put the shirt on and kneel, I just thought was really, really bad form by the AFL. I'm not sure they did it in the league there, guys, but there surely would have been a lot of players that did not agree with what was going on. And pretty much they were forced to do it, because if they didn't, they would have been, as they say, cancelled big time and probably turfed out of the game. So I didn't like that. But again, it depends on what side of the fence you are. But as I said, anything political, leave it out of boxing. All right, guys, get some more comments there. I think I've got to them all there, all the ones bagging out AFL. Let's see some boxing questions, guys. We're into round number 1 in the Barrios Maidana fight, and I must admit I haven't seen the first round. Looks like, though, Barrios is on the front foot and Maidana is on the retreat. And just an early look at the fight so far. I think Barrios looks the goods already. I know it's only the first round. Maidana looks a little bit technically inept for me at the moment. Barrios looks nice and tight. Good skills, of course. He beat Ugas for the title. Was it last time? Has he fought since then? I'm not sure he has. And I'm not really sure Maidana's background anyway. So James says, despite domestic violence being down by 50% since... Is that right? Okay, James. Okay, so there you go, mate. That's, at least it's awareness. You've just made me aware of that. Look, I will say, and again, I don't want to get onto these platforms and jump on my soapbox, but look, in my opinion with it all, I think these days, men, and I hate sort of talking about these things, to be honest, but look, I think these days, the way the views have all changed and the awareness and that sort of stuff, men, look, we're not all bad guys. You know, we love our wives, our girlfriends. There are some peanuts out there, but I think in this day and age, we've really matured a lot. And there's a lot of things, I suppose, we can focus on, but that doesn't surprise me, James, because the world's a totally different place since 1989. But if that's the case, that is good news. Is that right? Down 50%. So why are we still jumping up and down about it now, James? I mean, 50% still, or whatever it is, 50% or whatever it was, it's still too high, of course. But, yeah. Anyway, let's go into some boxing stuff. So round number 2, again, Maidana moving, jabbing. Doesn't look like he's a big puncher. I didn't actually catch his record, to be honest. But Barrios sort of cutting off the ring, coming forward, exchanging jabs at the moment. I've just got a feeling this is going to be a bit of a jab fest. I've got it, I think, but let's see. Who's that there? There we go. Volley. What's that? A volley. Holly de Mexico. That means hello. Is that from Mexico? Hello from Mexico. So, hey, that's great. We've got Mexican fans watching. That's awesome. As I said at the start, we had 15,000 people. Can you believe that? Watching the Nikita Zoo stream. It was crazy. Oh, that's cold coffee. Yeah. Been sitting there about an hour, I think. All right. Oh, what have we got there? All right. So round number 2. And Volley, sorry. Viva la Mexico. Who are we going for today, Volley? Who do we think's going to win? The 2 Mexicans. How does that work? I mean, it's going to be interesting. I mean, Canelo's a living legend. You know, Munguia is the young up-and-comer. Oh, there's Volley. Yep, she was, yep. Here. Yep, yes, I was here for Nikita Zoo. Yep. What's that? G'day. Oh, there we go. G'day, Mexico from Australia. Yep. Yes, thanks, James. I'd always forget that, mate. Like the stream, or like the page, all that sort of stuff. It was actually pretty good. One good thing to come out of that was that we had about 985 followers. And I know that's only this big in the scheme of things, but we had about 985. And by the end of it, we had 1,170 or something like that. So that was one good thing to come out. Got me over the 1,000 subscriber mark. That seems to be the benchmark these days. I don't really get too stressed about that. I'm more concerned about quality over quantity. But I understand these days with monetization and all that sort of stuff, I'm not really worried about monetization at all. Now, I have actually signed up to the thing. As soon as I hit 1,000, they sent me the little sign up thing, so I did it. But if it hinders it too much as far as the ads and all that sort of stuff, then I will get out of it because it's not about the money for me. Although I think, correct me if I'm wrong out there, guys, even if I haven't signed up for it, if you're not a subscription based customer, I think it's $20 or $30 a month to get the no ads thing. I think you get the ads anyway. So correct me if I'm wrong, but as I said, if it gets too much in the way of what we're trying to do, I hope there's no lives in this, by the way, guys. I was told they don't do ads in live events, so let's hope that's the case, because if that's the case, I'll be definitely getting out of the program. Volleys for Munguia. What's been the views this week, Wally, on the Canelo de la Hoya situation? Because, of course, Oscar's of Mexican descent. He's, apart from probably Canelo and Julio Cesar Chavez, probably the most popular Mexican. I know there's the American part in there as well, but what side did they all take? I'll be interested to hear about that. Yep, all for the underdog. Lots of love from Mexico to the Aussies. We love the Aussies, except when they're fighting you guys, Volley. What's that there? Especially the Victorians Vault. What's that mean? Or did I miss something there? If I missed something, I might have missed it there. Fill me in there, guys. All right, so we're into... Actually, I missed the... There we go. Round number 3. Barrios and Maidana. Are you hanging on us Victorians there, Gutless? Dave, as we're into round 3, as I said, not a lot happening at the moment. Maidana still on the move. Barrios coming forward. Not the most action-packed fight so far. So I'll just quickly go back and forth with this one. Of course, it's all about the main event. I saw Glenn Jennings on D-Style Boxing recently. He was talking up a kid by the name of Poking Horn. What do you know about him? Yeah, he's not a bad kid, David. Oh, hang on. We've just had a knockdown. Sorry to interrupt you there. Maidana is down in round number 3. A minute in. We're up to 7 and 8. He gets up. And I think he looks okay. So Barrios coming in for the kill. Nice and calm. Trying the setting up. And I think this... Maidana, yeah, he's not punching back. All right. Poking... Yeah, he's not a bad kid, Dave. He's only raw. He's only new to the pros. But look, Glenn's got a really good stable of fighters at the moment. He was a really, really good amateur, was Poking Horn. So I'm not sure... Actually, I'm not sure whether he went to the Olympics or not, mate. I don't think he did. Let me have a quick look and see. I'll just quickly look him up here. All right. So I'm not sure he went to... No, that's the... I've got the wrong one there. Yeah, I'm not sure there, mate. I'll have to look that up. But big raps on him. Good amateur, as I said. That's probably all I know at this stage. But if Glenn's taking him on, then he must be able to fight, mate. No doubt about it. Hang on. I missed a couple of comments there. Robert, put some respect on his name. Yeah, that was funny. Look, I think at the time when we were all watching it, the ones that watched it live, it was like, oh, gee, did he just say what he said? The way he, just the normal press conference thing and the way he gets up and does his speech. The only thing I'll criticise it was written down. It would have been better if it was just off the cuff. The fact that he had to read a prepared script was a little bit disappointing. But when he looked down and said, put some respect on my name, and Canelo just went, excuse me. And I think it took him about 15 seconds to really understand what was going on. And maybe he had to decipher it in English or whatever it was. But when he finally realised what was happening, while you could see him talking, and then he realised, of course, no one could really hear him, so he got the microphone involved, and then he had a chance to speak, and away we went. I thought it was great. And if you've seen the video, it's at the moment, check out Oscar De La Hoya's Instagram page. He's on there dancing. He's got the boxing robe on. He's got a cigar, and I think he might have a brandy or wine or something in his hand, and he's got the jocks and that on, and the gold chains, and looks the part. And he's got his missus, I think it's his missus, out washing the car in a bikini, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Check it out. It's on his Instagram page. Matsy, would have been great to see Canelo sit Oscar on his ass. Yeah, look, I think the thing with Oscar, we all love him as a fighter. I'm just talking person. I know a lot of you will differ. I just think as a person, he's just sometimes can just be a dick. I know he's had his issues and his problems with rehab, and that's okay. You know, he's owned up today. He's got himself back on track, and that's cool. But, geez, he just acts like a bloody idiot sometimes. And I understand he's bitter about the Canelo split. I understand that, but get over it. You know, to say that you built Canelo, shit, I could have managed Canelo Alvarez and he would have been a superstar. He's just that type of guy. He is a star. He's a global crossover superstar. So I think you got to remember also that Oscar, while Canelo was coming up and really being that star that he is today, Oscar was off probably in rehab half the time and getting his staff to take the reins at Golden Boy. So for him to take credit of the whole thing, yeah, I don't know. I just think Canelo, if he had been with Top Rank or with, not that Matchroom was around back then, but any of these promoters, he would have been still the same star that he is today. So I think that's a bit of a long bow from Oscar. I just think it's one of those instances where he should just move on. He should just move on. But he couldn't resist, could he? Volley, I'm currently on the United States side working the Latinos in the US. Love Canelo, but Mexico's backs Munguia. Is that right? Okay. When I cross the border, it will be Team Munguia. It looks like he's a really nice guy too, Volley. He looks very humble, and I love that in a fighter. I must admit, I don't like all this sort of stuff. And that's why I like Canelo as well. I know sometimes he does get a little bit excited, but he's just a fighter's fighter. I just respect him so much. And Oscar was like that back in the day. He really was. I know he obviously had his issues, but as a fighter, you cannot fault him. He fought anyone, anywhere, anytime, and that's the mentality that the Chavezes of the world had as well, the Durans. They just fought anyone. And I know Mayweather sort of gets a bit of pushback about that, but I've got respect for him as well. And obviously, I mean, the list goes on. So, aren't we Mexicans? No, that's the Victorians, isn't it? Gutless, aren't we the Mexicans down here, they call us? I'm not sure we're allowed to say that these days with this political correctness and everything, but Volley, that's what they call us Victorians. We're in the bottom right-hand corner of Australia. It's a little state down there, and the people up the top of the country call us Mexicans. So I take it as a compliment, though, Volley. Yes, the Aussies are practically Mexicans. We gladly take the Aussies, yep. Too bad Oscar isn't 29. I'll vote for him and Canelo fight, and that would be a great fight. Oh, it'd be massive, mate. It would be huge. And Oscar still looks like he could probably throw a few as well. I know, what is he? Be pushing 50 now, I think. Probably 47, 48. Yeah, James. Canelo versus De La Hoya next. I've got a feeling that if Canelo gets Munguia out of there today or tonight over there, you'll see him really get in Oscar's face. That's if Oscar actually goes anywhere near him. I think he'll give Oscar a real serve if he gets past Munguia tonight. Yes, Volley, he is very much a class act. And people, yeah, Volley, I saw, as we see Canelo Alvarez in the change rooms, he's got his nice blue outfit on tonight, the sky blue. He's got the sky blue gloves on. The team have got the sky blue tracksuits on. And Munguia is doing some pad work in his change rooms wearing underwear. So no trunks on at the moment. It was in his jocks, but looks ready to go as the crowd goes up in the stadium. But Munguia, just looking at, Canelo, looks like he's going to be wearing sky blue trunks. So we go into round number, I can't actually see the round there, sorry guys. Round number 5, I just on my screen, it's just out of view there. So round number 5, Barrios, Maidana. Again, I haven't watched a lot of it. I would say that Barrios will be well in front with that knockdown. So, but in the documentary before the last fight, Volley, I did see Pitbull on there, and it was really touching to see him and his wife. I think it's his wife, if not his partner. Get pretty emotional and go pretty deep into how hard it's been with them coming up. And I can't even imagine what it's like on some of the streets over there in Mexico for the people, the people over there and the fighters coming up. And they did both get, especially his wife, got very emotional talking about how much of a struggle it's been. So when that happens, you just love seeing fighters like that, win like he did. It was such a great performance as well over Rolly Romero. Just a quick stat here, guys. So the power punches, 36% from Maidana and 33% from Barrios. So he's had the edge in power punches, but I would think that Barrios is winning the fight. Larry Hazard has it 39-36 for Barrios at this stage. And Larry Hazard, one of the better referees of all time. So it's the WBC interim welterweight world title. And I still try and get my head around all this interim stuff and champion recess, all this sort of stuff. I think you're either the champion or you're not. I'll keep going down there. Oh, I've got a few comments there. Where are we? All right, we'll go down there. All right. Oh, yeah, there it is there. Hang on, I'll just go back a little bit. I've missed... Oh, yep. Sorry, guys. I'll go back a little bit because there's been a few come on. What's this guy with the stream? Okay, I'm going to ban you, mate. We're going to ban you. We don't want that. Fake streams. So we got rid of him. Okay, going up there. Sorry, guys. I've got a bit... Oh, yeah, the Pitbull. Rap Pitbull one. Yep, me too. And I don't know. Sorry, guys. Don't want to keep going down the bottom there. I've just missed a few comments. Got rid of that guy. All right. All right. What's up there, mate? Just want to say this has become my favourite boxing talk room. That's great, mate. Seems like everyone has a voice here, and that is a breath of fresh air. Well, we try to, mate. Look, we're not trying to be anything. We're not on here, mate. We're just boxing fans that are on here, to talk boxing, and that's about it. So no agendas here. No pumping ourselves up. It's just boxing fans with... Oh, yeah, there you go. Tara says Oscar is 51. There you go. So he's just turned 51. But no, that's great, mate. As I said, we're just boxing fans, and we just look. What I'm trying to do is just bring a little bit of a different dimension to the YouTube boxing stuff. I know everyone's got the little talk shows. They do lives, they do interviews and feedback, and that's great. I'm just trying to do just something a little bit different. My motto's always been, especially in my business as well. Not if you're going to do something the same as everyone else, well, why bother sort of doing it? That's why I like these sorts of things, because I know there are other people out there doing it, but I try and with the shows that we do and these watch-alongs and everything else, it's a little bit different and viewer involvement as much as we can. So we're going to do 3 shows a week. We'll obviously do the Monday night. I do a Wednesday night show. I haven't done for a couple of weeks, so I've just got back from overseas and there's been a bit going on. But Wednesday night will be something where it's a talking point or a dream fight or whatever it might be. And then we do the talking box on a Friday. And I've actually contemplated doing the weekly roundup, maybe even of a Saturday morning here and do it live. So there's a bit more interaction from you guys as well. But that's what it's all about, mate. And as I said, we're trying to bring something new to the YouTube scene because everyone, a lot of people just do the same old. And that even comes to the interviews. I've said on here a few times, we get a lot of people, why don't you interview this person, that person? I'm not really big into the interviews. I can do the interviews, no problems, don't get me wrong, but the fighters get interviewed so much by so many social media channels, and they need another one in me interviewing them. I'd rather interview the manager or the promoter or the cornerman to get a different perspective on it. But anyway, no, I'm glad you like it, mate. Same to you, Volley. Yep, that's awesome, mate. I don't know what I've done there. Oh, no, don't even joke about that, Gutless. Maybe Oscar could invite Jake Paul. Hey, that is not as stupid as it sounds. It obviously is a little bit big for Oscar. He's going to be pumping up himself up to heavyweight to fight Mike Tyson. But Yeah, look, nothing surprised me with that, mate. Fair income. So how about the mirror this time? Nah, I can't do it. Sorry, Volley. Can't do it. I'd like to, but yeah, I've been warned by lots of people that don't do it, or else you will be banned. I've got the volume up a little bit today, but I'm not sure you can hear too much at the moment. Thanks, Hayden. Nice to have you along there, mate. And as I said at the start, what this is designed for is, and again, I know a lot of people think it's trying to get live streams and that sort of stuff. It's just a thing where you're sitting here watching the fights. Then why not do it together or virtually together? All right, you got a question there. I don't know what to call you. I'm going to call you. Was it Forge Your Future? Financially fearless. I like that. I had a question. Does the Garcia failed test take away from his win, or is his pending suspension the worst part about it? Oh, very, very good question there. Look, he's failed it. He's failed the, well, has he failed it? This is the thing. This is why I haven't commented too much on it so far, because we haven't seen the B sample yet. Has he really failed the first A test? Because all that's sort of happened so far is that he has, well, the A samples come back positive, and that's obviously why they test the B sample as well. But the strange thing is, though, is that, and I said it in the roundup on Friday, that he had 4 tests during his training camp and tested negative. 4 tests. Now, that is the time, if you're going to take PEDs, that is the time you're going to take the PEDs, during training camp. They all tested negative. The ones that tested positive were the day of the weigh-in and the day of the fight. I don't know why you'll be taking PEDs at the weigh-in and fight day. It just doesn't make sense. So that, until that's all sorted out there, mate. And one thing that I have learned over the last 3 or 4 years, mate, I'm sure a lot of you out there are in the same boat. Do not assume or believe everything that gets fed to you by the media, whether it be social media or the mainstream media or whoever it might be. Don't just believe it just because it's out there. If it comes back and the B sample is positive and it's undisputed that he tested positive, well, I'll be all over him as well and say, yes, it takes away from his win. And it'll probably be a no contest anyway, so it won't be a win for him anyway. But until that happens, as I said, mate, I think over the last few years, we've learned not to jump the gun and say, oh my God, he's a drug cheat. I'll give him credit so far, and this is what makes me just think twice about it. He's come out swinging. Normally they go into the shells, they go into hiding, they don't comment. They have someone else maybe speak for them. He's come out very, very aggressively saying, I did not take this drug or the PED, whatever it might be. So that's the thing that just gets me thinking. Now, as I said, if it comes back that all the tests have come back positive, then no problem. Okay, he deserves what's coming to him. But at the moment, I'm not going to cast any judgment whatsoever because, I'm not going to go down the guilty until proven innocent track. I'm going down the innocent until proven guilty. I have to say that right? Innocent until proven guilty, not guilty until proven innocent. So that's where I'm at the moment, mate. But yes, if he does come back and it is 100% undisputed that he's taken the PEDs, well, again, it will be questioned. The win will be taken off him, and he deserves whatever comes from that. So, and I don't know what it works with suspensions and all that sort of thing. Who knows? But I suppose we'll soon see. Andy, how you going there, mate? Oscar has a relevant point, though, in my opinion. He is the guy that did build Canelo's early career. What's done is done, though, and I'm sure Oscar knows controversy sells. Yeah, well, that's 100% Andy. But, look, I do take on board what you're saying there, but as I also said earlier, I don't think it would have mattered who promoted Canelo at the time. He was going to be an absolute superstar. But on the other side, the fact that Oscar's profile in conjunction with Canelo's profile, did it elevate him earlier or a little bit more than what might have happened? Who knows? But Canelo was always going to be a star. But I do 100% believe that he does deserve some credit, of course, for building Canelo, but not all the credit. Canelo is Canelo, and we've seen it since he's gone from Golden Boy. He's jumped around to a couple of different promoters and. His sales and everything else haven't been affected at all. So, all right, we're into round number 7 at the moment. And again, I think Barrios is winning this quite comfortably. What's that there, Gutless? Ryan won all around. Yes. James, are you still involved in boxing at a club level? Not really at a club level, mate. I'm a little bit of a freelancer these days. I did have a gym, my own gym, when we opened it about 15 years ago, I think it might have been, and we had it for about 7 or 8 years and really enjoyed it. Not really the fighters though, James. I really liked doing the kids classes. We did obviously fitness classes and all that sort of stuff. The fighter side of thing was a little bit hard for me. It's not sure if that was for me, but I really enjoyed doing the kids classes and everything else. But these days, I do sometimes work with the odd fighter or two just on technique. I'm probably more of a consultant rather more than anything. So more of a boxing coach rather than a boxing trainer. So yeah, I will. I've worked with a few different people over the journey, and I'll help them a little bit with their technique. And that's probably about it. I do get around to certain gyms in the area and go and say good day and watch the sessions and have a little bit of input. But overall, mate, just yeah, as I said, a bit of a freelancer at the moment. But I still love being involved in the sport. I've got no desire, and I've just, or my wife Tara's in the chat there, has just finished our gym here at home. So we've got a ring and bags and weights and all that sort of stuff. So I'm contemplating maybe doing a little bit more as we go, but not really interested in fighters at this stage. Just as I said, maybe taking a few kids on and working with a few fighters for different things, and that's about it, mate. But I did go to Bendigo the other day, which is in central Victoria here in Australia, and the Bendigo Fight Centre, I think it was called, and went up there and just great numbers up there. All the gyms are just bursting at the seams with fighters at the moment, all the ones I get to. So, and that's great. And the guy up there, Daniel, I think it was doing really, really good things up there with the young kids. And we need trainers like that at that level. All the kids coming in just to be there and start the journey for them. Just to get the ball rolling. And a lot of kids might not want to be actual fighters. They just want to get the gloves on and punch the bags and punch the pads, punch each other. And that's great. Gets them started. And then, of course, if they want to take it a bit further, well, then maybe they go to the bigger gyms and all that sort of stuff. But, yeah, doing really, really good things. And not just up there, all over the place at the moment. So, Andy says maybe Ryan thought he'd get away with it after 4th test before the weigh-in. You'd have to be a bloody idiot, though, to think you could milk PED advantage in a 2-week window. Yeah, well, he has shown that he's a little bit loose in that area, hasn't he, Andy? So will that blow up in his face? I'm sure we'll see. James, I love training kids as well. Yeah, mate, it's really it just makes it all worthwhile, doesn't it? And there's nothing better than getting a young kid, and there was a young kid up in Bendigo I saw the other day. He's about 14 years of age and very, very raw, and just to pull him aside and tweak a few things and give him a little bit of advice. It really, it means a lot. And he was wrapped, of course, and that's what I like to do. But it's a hard business to be in, James, as far as fighters goes. Very, very hard work, but as I said, I love working at the ground level and having a bit of input there. Every fighter that tests dirty plays the innocent card. I saw Rachel Donaire say there's like 4 seals for security purposes. And VADA and UCAD are basically couriers for WADA. Yeah, that's a good point there, Andy. But they all play the innocent card. But as I said, look, if he does get found guilty, then throw the book at him. No problems whatsoever. But I don't know. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to be taking him on the day of the fight. I mean, it really doesn't do anything. And why would you risk it after that? However, as I said, Ryan has been shown to maybe not be the sharpest tool in the shed. So, again, we'll wait and see. All right. I agree with that. I read today that the Bivol fight was postponed. Yep, it was. I think it was Better Beav, I think it was injured. I wonder if it will even happen now at all. Do you think he should maybe just try to fight Charlo Brother at a catch weight? Well, no, I think the fight will still go ahead there. These guys aren't a Thurman type, if that makes sense, or one of these guys that they do more sort of talking sometimes than fighting. These are fighters. Better Bev and Bivol They want to fight each other. I'm wrapped that the 5x5 tournament will still go ahead. That will proceed as planned. And it looks like Deontay Wilder and Zhilei Zhang will be the main event, which is still a great main event in its own right. But I've got no doubt they'll probably fight in probably September, October. No, was it supposed to be June, isn't it? So maybe October, November they might fight. But yeah, I think it will happen, mate. I think these guys want to fight each other. The Sheik or the Turk or His Excellency, whatever they want to call him over there, he wants the fight. So I'm sure it will happen later in the year. As Canelo Alvarez and Tank Davis get a selfie in the change rooms. It's funny. I thought they might have had a little bit of beef, but good to see some mutual respect there. And actually, it looks like Canelo's got black trunks on with the sky blue riding. So yeah, Gervonta, Tank Davis in the change rooms with Canelo Alvarez. What was that there, mate? So with the Charlos, I wouldn't even bother with those guys, mate. I think they're done. I think they'll just wait around and fight each other. And although, what's it been? Bivol, when did he fight? Late last year. So I don't think it'll matter. I think he'll hang around. How often a dirty fighter is found innocent? That's the real question. Very good point there, Andy. I've got no doubt there's some untoward stuff that goes on out there and they don't get caught. So, well, even if you look at, I know it's a different sport and I'm sure league's different again, but in the AFL, the illicit drugs thing, not performance enhancing, but all the illicit drugs, they get a 3-strike warning process and we don't know about it unless it's 3 strikes. So I would have thought that you get caught, don't you? So, and you should face the consequences. This three strikes thing, mate, you got caught, then where are the consequences? James, we would love to see you at Kyogle Boxing Club if you're over in the Northern Rivers. Now, where is Kyogle there, James? Let me Google it. Where are we? I'm assuming it's in Queensland. What is it? So, Kyogle. New South Wales, sorry. Jeez, mate, where the hell is that? Hang on, no, it's up. Oh, yeah, so it's near the Gold Coast. Is it? Near Byron Bay. Tweed Heads. Yeah, well, if I'm up that way, James, I'll hit you up, mate, and I'll come and visit your gym and say g'day. That would be good. Better be probably got hurt wrestling a bear. The man is a beast. He certainly is, mate. He's an absolute beast. So who do we think wins that fight? Better Beav or Bivol? I have my money on Bivol, but Better Beav, I would not be surprised. He is a beast. Guys, I think we're in the round number 9 here of Barrios and Maidana. I haven't got my glass. I think we've got a minute to go in the round, and it's for the WBC interim welterweight title. And from what I've seen so far, Barrios doing the job. Hasn't been the most exciting fight so far from what I've seen, but Barrios sort of doing the job at the moment. So Hasbulla beat him up. Yeah, maybe. Here's another one with the... I'm going to ban you too, bruh. So got a few of these streamers. How do they find us in here? I was just throwing out that as an idea so that he can stay active. Okay, Bivol's now entered his 30s as well. I think he would probably kill the Charlo brothers. I would like to see the guys stay a bit active. Yeah, look, good point, mate. And maybe at his age, though, maybe he doesn't really want to fight overly often. And maybe this is such a big fight he won't risk it. But yeah, look, on the other hand, you're right. He's the type of fighter who doesn't like to stay on the sideline, so maybe he might, but I just think it's too big a fight. Look, and it also depends how serious is the injury. Now, it might have just been a slight strain. Don't forget the fight's only a month away, so he's probably like a footballer, I suppose. They do a hamstring or whatever it might be. It might only put him out of action for 3 or 4 weeks. So who knows? What is it? We might get it in maybe September, which I don't think's a big drama. It's not like with the Fury and Usyk situation with the bad cut. Had to postpone it for, what was it, 3 months, 4 months, whatever it was. So if it's only, it might just be enough just so he can't spar or do pads and that sort of stuff. So it might literally be a month put back. So which would make it like July. But I think to be safe, they might put it back to August, September. Who knows? That might be. I think they were planning a big September show. So who knows? That might be the main event on that one. But I just don't think it's going to throw too many spanners in the works there, mate, because again, we don't know the full story, but from what I read, it was a strained bicep or something. So let's hope it's just like a hammy where a football player has to sit out for 3 or 4 weeks and then he's back. Hopefully this is the same. I've banned that guy there with the with that. Yeah. All right, Glenn, near Casino, I guess, home of the Cowboy. Yes, Justin Rousseau, one of the best amateur fighters we've ever had in this country. He was a superstar, Justin Rousseau. Of course, he fought Ricky Hatton in the pros and didn't end well for him there. But I've never actually met Justin, to be fair. But I came just after he'd left the amateurs. He was a few 3-4 years older than me. But I did go on the team with a few of the guys that were with him on that Olympic team, Robbie Pede and Justin Crawford. And the stories they told me, he was a superstar. And I follow him on social media and looks like a really nice guy as well. Mutzi says, Bivol probably outboxes him. This is Better Beav. I think so. But Better Beav, he's just, look at his body. He's just made of granite. And Bivol can be hit. He can be a little bit loose sometimes, so maybe the pressure of Better Beav. I don't know. I'm just looking forward to the fight. Don't really care who wins, but I just want to see the fight. And as I said, I'm sure we will. I'm sure they'll reschedule it for an extra month or two down the track. Andy, he says, if you pop into any boxing clubs, then don't forget to post. I will. I probably should do that. I probably should do some videos, because when I go, I just sort of pop in and say good day. And look, it's more so for starters. I just like to call in and just watch a session. Because I get asked a fair bit by different gyms and people to sort of go. And what I like is just go there and just watch. Because you've got to get to know how the fighters train their fighters and what they know and what they don't know. And don't get me wrong, I have been horrified sometimes to some gyms at how they get trained, but that's another story. But I like just to watch and then just subtly just come in and offer a few tips and pointers and that sort of stuff. And as I said, a lot of it's not rocket science, but it's just a tweaking here or there. Because you've got to remember, a lot of trainers, they're well-intentioned, but they don't really know how to teach boxing. They're great with bag drills and pad drills, and they get them to spar, and that's great. We need them at that level. But I just think as far as just the technique side of things and different little drills and the way to stand and where to step and that sort of stuff, that's what I like to help out with. And I'd love to see other fighters. We've got so many great fighters that have come from Australia that really don't do anything these days. They haven't really got an involvement. So if you've got a gym out there, maybe reach out to some of those guys and get them into your gym. I'm sure they all love to do it. I love to do it. Just to come in, and sometimes you find the young kids, they just want to be around fighters that have been there and done that. It just makes them step up a little bit. And I'm not sure up Casino way. You can imagine. I'm not sure if Justin Rousseau has any involvement. Imagine getting him to the local gym. I mean, it means so much to the guys. So if you have got a gym out there and you've got a local fighter that's been Olympics or world titles, whatever it is, ask them to come in. I guarantee they would love to do it. They would love to do it. Because a lot of them just love the game, and a lot of them are out of it too long. A lot of them feel a little bit ostracized as well. I'm lucky because I get asked a fair bit to go around. I mean, I'll put myself out there a fair bit, obviously, with this, but a lot of them don't really have an involvement anymore, and they still love the sport. And it means a hell of a lot to them. I went to the retired or past fighters association or something last year. It was great just to see a lot of those old fighters from back in the day, to meet them, and a lot of them just get a real kick out of shaking your hand and being recognised and acknowledged. So that would be my advice out there, guys. If you have got a gym or whatever, reach out to someone that's local and get them in, because I guarantee they would be there in a heartbeat and really appreciate being appreciated and recognised. We've all got egos, remember. We all like the old, how good you used to be. We're all a lot better than what we used to be, aren't we? But anyway, Glenn says December. Okay. Did you hear for the Bivol? Geez, that's a long time. It must have been a bad injury if it's been put back 6 months. That's crazy. Justin and I are really good friends. We train fighters out of Sydney Uni. Well, there you go, Glenn. So just what I said there, mate. I'm sure. So he's obviously involved as well, which is awesome, which is great. Justin trained at our gym a couple of times. He had a broken leg at the time. Wow. Oh, geez, a broken leg. Geez. All right. But look, I'm sure he would have got a kick out of it, mate. As I said, we love being around it, and some they just feel a little bit ostracised sometimes, a little bit forgotten. And especially in this day and age of the "Are you okay?" scenario, whether it be boxers, footballers, whatever it might be, when you're out of the limelight, sometimes it can be very, very hard to handle. Now, me, myself, not that I was ever at world title level or anything, but being at Olympic level, when you're out of the sport, you're very, very quickly forgotten. And it just sometimes is good just to have someone say, "Oh, I remember you. I used to follow you as a boxer and, I used to really, like what you used to do," and all that sort of stuff. It does mean a lot. And, in this day and age with all the mental health stuff we talk about, sometimes just that little bit of acknowledgement and a handshake and appreciation can go a long way. So when they say, "Are you okay?" or maybe reach out to fighters, footy players, whatever it is, and check as well. All right, so it looks like Larry has us at 98-91 for Barrios at the moment. Volley, when is the main event? Who is currently fighting? All right, so Barrios and Maidana. This is the the main prelim. Volley, sorry, I haven't really offered too much in the way of this. I'll just check So we're in round number 11 at the moment with 40 seconds to go, and it looks like Barrios is well on his way to winning this fight. But I promise during the main event I will have a bit more of a blow-by-blow analysis. But so far it's been a pretty run-of-the-mill fight so far, and Barrios has pretty much won nearly every round. Andy, so where are you, Andy? So, all right, so almost at the end of round number 11, 10 seconds to go. All right, so we should be on. I'm probably thinking, or probably looks like more like 1:30 at the moment in the afternoon here. All right, so I think we're to the end of the comments there. So there's always one. We've got about 80 people watching, and there's always one that gives you the thumb down. That's oh, geez. I'm not sure why you'd come to someone's YouTube page and give them the thumbs down. So that's good. I hope you feel good about yourself today, mate. It's all good. Isn't that funny why you go there just to give a thumbs down? But we have got a few watching. That's great. We haven't got the 15,000 we had watching last time, but it looks like, what have we got? 88. So awesome. But I don't know how many of you guys think it's a live stream, but it is just the watch along. So we've got one round to go. Barrios versus Maidana. So it's 7 minutes past 1 in the afternoon here in Melbourne, Australia. And we should have the main event on at about 1:30. And can Munguia do it? I think it's going to be entertaining while it lasts anyway. So we're going to round number 12. Andy says, visiting Townsville at the moment for a birthday, but I live remote Northern Territory. Wow. Northern Territory. Do they even have internet up there, Andy? I'm only joking, all right? I've probably upset you enough today with the rugby league comparisons. So, all right, so 30 seconds into round number 12. I think, as always, it's about this time where we just want the main event to come on. We're a little bit over these undercard fights. Thumbs down probably came from the bless your butt. Yeah, maybe. I can cop it. It's only a thumbs down. Who cares? But as I said, it's pretty funny that someone goes to something like this and. But 28 of you have actually given us a thumbs up, so that's good. I'm not sure what effect it has on anything anyway, guys, hitting a thumbs down, but anyway. All right, Big J. It's about time you commented, Big J. When you're in Perth, the chump has agreed to the face-off and a dinner at the steakhouse, and it's my shout. Okay, well, I'm going to be there on Friday afternoon, Big J. So I think we get to... Actually, where is it? I've got the itinerary here. So I'm hitting... Where is it? All right, where is it? That's Perth to Melbourne. So I arrive in Perth at about 4:10 in the afternoon. So I should be at the hotel by about 5:30 or something, I'm probably thinking, mate. So I'll probably have a bit of dinner. I've got the weigh-in on the Saturday. Not quite sure what time it is. and of course the Friday and the Sunday. So I've got plenty of time, mate. I'm not quite sure I've got time to shout you dinner, but I'll be definitely there for the face-off. I'll shout you a coffee or a beer or something anyway, mate. I promise you. But that's good. But yeah, I'm there on Friday afternoon, mate, and I'm going to be there with Uncle Ronnie Picken, my main man. He'll be there with me, my travelling partner to all the big fights we've been to, and he's bringing his daughter with him this time, which would be great, Karen. And we're also going to be there with Steve and Jack Dilks, who have both got press accreditation to photograph the fight. So that's great. Jack came over to the States with us last year for Jason Maloney's fight in Stockton, and hooked up by Top Rank over there, Mikey Williams, who really, really nice guy. He's the main man for Top Rank, if you don't know who he is, as a photographer. And Jack got to know him very well. And now him and his dad have both got press accreditations to photograph the fight. So that should be awesome for those two. All right, so we've got about 5 seconds to go in round number 12, guys. And it looks we've got a little bit of action at the end here, and that's it. That is round number 12. So I hope you didn't come here for the blow-by-blow of that fight, because you've basically got nothing. But it looks like Barrios has done enough to win. The fighters touch gloves. You always love to see that go to the opposition's corner. But I think Barrios has won this quite conclusively. Yes, the blokes, yep. We are blokes here, mate. I know it's over there. We're hombres in Mexico. We'll organise something after the weigh-in. Well, mate, yeah, well, after the weigh-in, we've got all day. What time is it? Is it probably lunchtime, I think it's on, in Perth? So, yeah, happy to facilitate that, mate. We'll catch up. I'm going to have the video there, and I will do a video of the trip. So we might coincide that with the throwdown. So both fighters now on the big screen at the arena. Munguia give himself a couple of whacks in the face just to wake himself up a little bit there. Freddie Roach in the background. What a legend Freddie Roach is. Absolute fantastic guy. I've had the privilege of meeting him a few times, and he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet. Has time for anyone. You can walk into his gym, unless he's training fighters. If he's there, you can walk in, shake his hand. He'll chat with you for however long, and just a really, really lovely guy. There's Canelo Alvarez, black with the sky blue, the blue gloves. Ready to go. And there's a shot of Las Vegas. What a city. I miss it already. I was only there a month ago, but just an unbelievable city. What's that there? Let's go Canelo. That's Batman Boxing. How are you, mate? Welcome to the show, or the broadcast. Got my credentials approved. I arrived Thursday just before the final presser. That's awesome, mate. Well, you might be able to get me in if you can. I'm only joking. I've had press credentials a couple of times. It's not really my thing, to be honest, because I'm there just covering the event. I don't sort of go there to really interview or that sort of stuff. And I was there, was it last year for Cambosis, and Barrios has got the win there for Cambosis and Houston, Oklahoma. And thank you very much to Noonan Boy, who got me the credentials. But you've got to sit in a certain spot. You're not allowed to take photos or any footage, and I'd like to get in there and get footage from a video. So I ended up sitting in the stand. So I've been offered a couple of times to maybe get some credentials. It's not really my thing. Unless you're one of the guys that go there and you want interviews and that sort of stuff, that's perfect. But for me, not really my thing. Big J Chump needs to start saying his prayers. Okay. Asbot, Freddie Roach, one of my favourite commentators of the sport. Wealth of knowledge, pure heart. Yeah, he's such a great guy, mate. It always has time for anyone. What's that? What's that dollar link? What's that there, Gutless? Is it the super chat or whatever it is? I've got no idea how to do that, mate. Wouldn't have a clue. Andy there, Asbot. Yep. Good to see you all in the chat here, guys. All right, so Barrios has got the swollen right eye there. He looks a little bit sore and sorry for himself, but good effort. He's obviously worn a left hook at some stage there, but he's got his WBC interim belt. And I'm not quite sure what he's saying there, but got the crowd up and about. All right. So all we have now, guys, is the main event. Now, what I'm going to do is before the main event, I'm going to refill my water bottle because I'll be talking a lot through the stream. All right. What have we got there? Oh, no, I think I'm at the bottom of the. Yes, Andy, smash the like button. Again, I don't know how it all works, but maybe you can go get press credentials and still go sit in the stands and use a credit card to get, or credential card to get backstage. Well, that's sort of what I did last time, Andy. Because what they do is they give you an area where you've got to sit, and they're explicit in their instructions: no footage, no photos, no. Then you got to do this, and you got to be there at a certain time, and you can't go here. And I was like, screw this, because I bought a ticket for, this is a Cambosis fight. I actually bought a ticket before I actually got them. When they first come out, bang, I was straight on them and I got a ticket. They're only $100 or whatever, but I got my ticket. So, and I probably could have sat anywhere anyway because there's a lot of vacant seats. But I was like, geez, okay, all right, no drama. But that's what I did, mate. I got my credentials. It was good. I went to the weigh-in and that sort of stuff. That was good because they didn't, these days, which I don't like, they're not letting any fans in whatsoever, and I think it's shit that they don't let fans in. And luckily for the recent trip to America, I got into the Liam Wilson Valdez weigh-in. That was thanks to Team Wilson, Glenn Jennings as well. Benny Harrington got me a pass, so thanks to those guys. And so I got into the weigh-in, but I thought, well, it's a massive big room they've got here. They had all the press in there, and I reckon they could have fit 300 people in there, but they locked everyone out, and they had the people they did allow in there. There was like one in the back left-hand corner of the room and one in the back right-hand corner of the room. They had it like red corner, blue corner. And we're just right down the back, and you could barely see. You had you couldn't take the camera in because that's the other thing. You're not allowed to have cameras in there, so I had to take my phone in. So I'm trying to zoom in, so I pixelated the hell out of it. Well, what's the big deal? Let people in. If there's plenty of room in there, if anyone plays up, which they don't, get them out of there. I just don't understand it. But that's the good thing about it. It does get you into the weigh-in. And you're right, you can get in certain areas, get into the change rooms and that sort of stuff, or the change room area, not actually into the change rooms themselves. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll see how we go there, mate. This, mate, I'll chop out, do it for next time. Okay. Appreciate that, mate. As I said, I've never really contemplated the money side of things, but maybe what I could do is take the money and we'll donate it to a charity at the end of the year. Dan says, really looking forward to the Opatai versus Breeders fight. What's your thoughts? Good question there, Dan. Look, it's going to be a tough fight, mate. It's going to be a very tough fight. I know a lot of people have said that Jai should do it easier this time. I think he wins, but I think it could possibly be an even harder fight than the first one because I think Breeders, I'm not quite sure, maybe he rated Jai that highly last time. He'd been champion for a little while. Jai was relatively unknown. And obviously lost his belt. The only thing I will say is he hasn't fought since then, as far as I know. I don't think he has. So he's been out a long, long time. Jai's had 2 or 3 fights. I think that will be the difference. I think Jai wins, but I'm not subscribing to it'll be easier than the first fight. Let's not get too carried away with Jai's last couple of wins. He did a great job with him. But as far as a Breeders caliber, nowhere near it. So I think Jai's improving all the time, and I think he'll win the fight. But don't get too carried away from the fact that he's had those last 2, demolition job wins. I think Breeders, he's a champion for a reason. He's been a great champion. The only thing I will say again is that he hasn't fought for a while. And fill me in if I'm wrong there, guys. I won't look him up, but I'm pretty sure he hasn't fought since then, and Jai's been pretty relatively active. So that, I think, will be the difference. I think Jai wins in another, well, I was going to say decision. I think I've got a feeling Jai might be able to stop him late this time. But Breeders is a tough guy. But I'll go with Jai by decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets him out of there in 10 or 11 rounds, but we'll see. Big J, all jokes aside, it's going to be great to catch up with you again. Yep, looking forward. Yep, for sure, mate. Make sure you touch base while I'm over there. We've got plenty of time to do it. All day, pretty much Saturday, I think, to catch up. So that's what's good about when you go to these events. I love getting to the big events where there's plenty of other fight fans there, and it's like it's an in-house type of thing, and you might go to one hotel and you know, you meet someone like yourself, BJ, and you go somewhere else and you have a coffee with someone else. It's a day full of coffees, basically, or beers, if that's your thing. And it's just great to catch up. I remember just a quick story before the fighters do the ring walks in Brisbane for the Jeff Horn Manny Pacquiao fight. Well, the hotel where everyone stayed, we're there for 3 or 4 days, and pretty much every day was spent in the foyer of this hotel, because that's where all the fighters were staying, it's where all the media were staying, and a lot of fans were staying there, and the teams. It was just awesome, and it's just sat there all day. And over this side, there might be Jeff Fennick. Over here might be Danny Green, and over there might be Barry Michael, and over there might be, you know, Freddie Roach, and over there might be Colonel Bob Sheridan. I mean, it was just doing the rounds all day. It was just it was all week. It was awesome. So that's what I like about it. And we will catch up when I'm over there, mate. So make sure you touch base. Peter Nutt. You're not gonna mention the footy, are you, Peter? Was it you? I think you're a pies man. It's maybe been ice today. The Trump's in trouble. Jai McAllister. Cred came up as credit card in order. Oh, okay. Yep, now I get you, mate. Yep. I was wondering, I'm not going to hand over my credit card, that's for sure. There it is. Of course, Peter. I got no retaliation, mate. I got no comeback. All I can say is, Collingwood. They do it to us all the time. All the time. And you just had a, look, I will say, Peter, that last quarter when it was, I think we only went inside 54 times for the quarter, which is just ridiculous. Collingwood just locked it in their forward line. We couldn't get it out, and class rose to the top, mate. I wish I had a smart comeback for you, but I haven't. You guys won, and I hate yous, but I respect yous. Bring back Dave Wayans. Yeah, not a bad point there, James. I wouldn't mind seeing it. We might get away from the fighters, these weight bully type of guys. And I did see on Instagram, was it yesterday, and it wasn't boxing, it was MMA, but they had this guy on there making weight, and the guy looked like he was half dead. He could not literally stand up. They both had him. He was like Weekend at Bernie's type of sort of style, and he was so dehydrated and weak. This is not what we want from fighters. How's this guy supposed to 24 hours later, after he makes weight, to try and rehydrate? The damage it must be doing to their bodies. The body's starting to eat itself and suck the liquid out of it, or the fluid out of itself. It cannot be healthy. And MMA fighters tend to do it even harder than the boxers. I'm not quite sure. Maybe there's a bit more weight gap in between. I'm not quite sure, but I'm not sure how it works with the weight categories. But this MMA guy, I thought, holy shit, how is this guy supposed to fight the next day? He was literally passed out on the floor and looked like skin and bones and had to be helped up by his corner. But that's not healthy. And the corner people or the management or whatever you say aren't doing the job for the fighter if they're doing that to him, and that's when issues arise. But I'm with you. That's not a bad idea, mate. That would get rid of the weight bullies. Volley says, Team Canelo or Team Munguia? I've got to say I'm still Team Canelo, Volley. I'm still Team Canelo. I love Canelo. I'm a big fan of Munguia as well, but if I'm going to pick one, it's got to be Canelo. Looking forward to the Apataya fight. Jai's an animal. The look in his eyes is terrifying. It's got that Mike Tyson look about him, hasn't he, Mutsy? All right, well, we're about to... As Canelo watches himself on the screen there, has a bit of a smile to himself. So is that the odds there, is it? I don't know how that works. Minus 160 for Canelo to win by knockout, and minus 110 for either fighter to be knocked down. I don't know how all that works with the minors and pluses and all that sort of stuff. So Munguia just talking to Freddie Roach at the moment, getting his final instructions before he enters the ring. He'll, of course, be first into the ring. Canelo looks very, very relaxed. He's got a nice little smirk on his face as he prowls the change rooms, and he looks ready to go. All right, so tail of the tape, 33 years old, Canelo, 27, Munguia, weight 166 3/4 for Canelo, 167.5 for Munguia. Height, Munguia is 6 foot, Canelo is 5'7.5. The reach, pretty close, 70.5 inches for Canelo and 72 inches for Munguia, which is surprising considering the height difference there. So it's a little bit out of whack, but so Munguia definitely the younger fighter and taller, but Canelo experience and the power. It is even wahoo. All right, Volley says, I'm a fan of both too, but tonight I'm Team Munguia. May the best man win. Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to there, mate. So Jimmy Lennon Jr. is about to do the introductions with both fighters to come into the ring. Dan, surely this would have to be a favourite Canelo to lose to Munguia. I keep hoping to Munguia struggling to beat. Yeah, keep looking back. Yep, or going back to Munguia struggling to beat Dennis Hogan, who is not world class. Yeah, I agree with you there, Dan. The only thing is that look, sometimes fighters, even the best fighters, struggle just with the odd fight or two. They mightn't be up for it, in upstairs, and in that case, I couldn't blame probably Munguia for not really being switched on for a Dennis Hogan. And sometimes they just have those type of fights, but then they can actually rise to the occasion and do their thing. Just looking there, so they're singing the anthems at the moment. It's a good Mexican anthem too. National anthem is the Mexican one. We hear it often enough, don't we? Cinnamon just to see Oscar after there. Ian, you're at the pub. What are you watching on your phone or something? Are you there? What do we got? So we've only got 47 watching at the moment. So everyone's jumped off the off the stream. They either can't get it or they've got it on themselves. All right, so he's still singing. This must be the long version, I'd say. Well, I suppose they only got to sing one anthem, don't they? Unless they sing the American anthem, because that's where the fight is being held. But a big, big crowd. Very healthy crowd. And say what you want about him with Canelo, he's still the face of boxing, and only he could probably sell that arena out twice, I'm probably thinking. But it's an awesome arena too, the T-Mobile. I still like the MGM, if I've got to put it down to both of them, though. I think the MGM's just got that history in it. Some great fights have happened there, and it's got a little bit more soul to it, if you ask me. Yeah, Viva Mexico, my country, that says, from Volley. Not sure I'm going to visit anytime soon, though, Volley. I'm not sure you're aware of it over there. You'll probably get a lot of it happen, but there's been it was two Australians and a American, their American friend were over there on a surfing holiday this week, and all of them have been found dead, unfortunately. 3 bodies recovered, surfing on a surfing holiday in Mexico. I'm not quite sure where it was, but yeah, they found their bodies a couple of days ago, so not great. Especially, look, I know you probably got to be careful where you go in Mexico. I have been there once, but I only got as far as Tijuana. That was about it. So I obviously haven't seen the real Mexico. Where are the best spots to go if we ever go there, Volley? If we want to get to Mexico? Because I've heard it's absolutely beautiful, but I ain't going there in any time soon after what's happened in the last week or so. All right, so now what's these bands? Is it the mariachi bands? Is that what they call it? They're doing a little thing in there before the fighters walk out. Always love it too. You go to the Waynes and the Grand Arrivals night in Vegas, and they always have the mariachi bands there, and it's pretty cool. Mexican music's pretty good. Oh, it's actually the American national anthem played by. Well, I actually it's not really. Is it a mariachi band? I think it is. Yeah. That's a nice little spin on proceedings to do the American anthem with the mariachi band. All right. Yep, and the crowd loves that. Foreigners stick out like sore thumbs here. We love them, but there's so much violence in certain places. Yeah, well, I think from what I've heard, Vol, is that, it's a great place to go if you go to the right places and maybe stick to the resorts. All right, so Jimmy Lennon Jr. now takes center ring to introduce the fighters in the walkouts. Yes, of course, it's Cinco de Mayo in Las Vegas. What shirt is Oscar De La Hoya wearing there? Looks like a black sequin shirt that's unbuttoned down to his chest, so you can see his chest and his gold chain. Here we go. This is easy, better than the standard pop singer ruining the anthem. Yeah, I agree, James. 100% agree there, mate. It's nothing worse than they feel this need to do their own spin on things, and it just really most of them just make a mess of it. I was like the best American anthems, and any anthem for that is just someone that gets in there and belts it out from the heart, the way it's supposed to be sung, not this with the whole prolonged notes and all this sort of stuff. It just makes it sound pretty pretty ordinary. Jaime Munguia on his way out to the ring. Oh, is that right? Cinco de Mayo isn't a Mexican holiday, though. Now, September isn't it, Volley? That's the Independence Day or Independence Weekend. That's when I'll be back in Vegas for the next Canelo fight. Will be mid-September, I think. It is second week of September, I think, isn't it? You don't celebrate that. Well, I just think I did hear that, Volley. I heard it was just an excuse for the Americans to have a piss up for the weekend. Because you go to the times I've been to Cinco de Mayo in Las Vegas, it's all just everyone except Mexicans celebrating. They've all got the Mexican hats on and drinking margaritas and all that sort of stuff. All right, Jaime Munguia in the ring. There's Bernard Hopkins. Yep, September 16th. So that's Mexican Independence Weekend. I think I'm going over there. Actually, I think this year it might be the 14th, Volley, I think. It's the second Saturday, or they have the fights the second Saturday of the month of September, which is... which is the 14th this year. So I think I'll be over there a week before. All right. Yeah, an excuse to drink and party, that's for sure. All right, as we await Canelo Alvarez. All right. And like him or not, he's an unbelievable great champion, is Canelo Alvarez. And like a lot of fighters before him, we're going to miss him when he's gone. And who is the biggest star when Canelo goes? Or the up-and-coming star? I don't see it being Crawford, 36, almost 37, I think he is. Ryan Garcia, depends on whether he can keep on the straight and narrow. And I just don't think Ryan's that likable type of guy either. Like a Canelo, and I mean, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one. Who will step up? In a way, is obviously the Japanese face of boxing, but is he at Universal champion or that face of boxing? Probably not. What's that, Volley? The US or Mexico? Here we go, getting excited now. Yep, nothing better than a big fight. And then, of course, what we've got, so Jason Maloney on Monday night. We've got Usyk and Fury on the 18th, or 19th here in Australia. Here he comes. Canelo just waiting to come out. And who's the favourite ring announcer, guys? I myself like Jimmy Lennon Jr. the best. I think he's like his dad, just got that voice for it. I know Michael Buffer's the universally sort of recognised guy, but I must admit I'm a little bit over the whole let's get ready to rumble thing. It's this thing that's been done to death. Yeah, I mean, when I first sort of heard it back in, I first heard it probably about 40 years ago, it sends the shivers down the spine. But now these days, it's such sort of a cliched sort of thing. I like Jimmy Lennon Jr. It's showtime, but not just his little catchphrase, just the way he introduces them. I think it's for me, he's the best. As Canelo Alvarez makes his way to the ring, Got a lot of belts to carry there. He's won a lot in his time. Was he undisputed 154, undisputed 168? And what did he win at 160? Was it just the WBA? I think it was. And the undisputed light heavyweight, of course, as well. So what a great champion he's been. Looks like a great atmosphere. I probably should message Tassie Brown while I'm here. He's sitting over there. If you don't know, Tassie used to be my co-host on these shows, on our weekly show. And had the pleasure, we were over there for Devin Haney, Vasily Lomachenko last year. He sat next to Oscar De La Hoya, if you can believe that. He had a seat sort of a little way back, and he thought he'd go down and sit ringside for the prelims because no one was there. Of course, no one gets there early for the prelims. He sat right at ringside, and little did he know that before the main event, no one would fill his seat. I don't know how a ringside seat for Haney Lomachenko wasn't filled, and he picked the exact seat that wasn't filled, but he sat there, and Oscar De La Hoya and his wife, girlfriend, whatever he is, sat right next to him to the point where it was on the big screen, and he managed to get his head in there. Crazy. So I'm not sure he'd be sitting next to Oscar this time. Oscar's in the ring, of course, but there you go. All right, a couple more comments before we get started, as Canelo's in the ring doing the rounds. Asbot on paper, Munguia is ahead of Canelo. Age, height, reach, KO ratio, but Canelo's experience, IQ, etc. is the difference, maybe. I agree, Asbot. That's why I think will be the difference. Is that right, Andy? So he only didn't win the WBO belt at middleweight. So what was it, 154, 168, 175, undisputed champion? Is that right? Did he miss a belt? I'm pretty sure he had undisputed at 175 as well. So one belt away from being a 4-time undisputed champion, if that is the case. That is nuts. What about old mate Dan throwing paper everywhere? He's an excitable. Oh, somebody somewhere make some noise. All right, so Jimmy Lennon Jr. about to introduce the fighters. Both fighters looking relaxed. And any fighter that's trained by Freddie Roach knows is going to come prepared. Yep. Geez, both fighters looking really, really good, Nick. Oh, that was Andy at middleweight, yep. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's news, mate. Yeah, so almost a 4-time undisputed champion, just unheard of these days. I think, is it Crawford might have a chance if he wins? I don't think he had undisputed. Did he? No, he did at 140, didn't he? So maybe, yeah, he could be 3-time. Geez, Canelo's got about 20 people in his corner there. I'm surprised they let so many up on the ring. Oh, hang on. Lieutenant Dan is shit. He is. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Yep, Tassie, Andy. Okay. There you go. Sorry. Only WBO at 175 at Kovalev. Yeah, okay. I thought it was undisputed. Sorry. Here we go. Introducing the fighters. First of all will be Jaime Munguia, the undisputed 168-pound title. T-Mobile Arena. Oh, it's not showtime. It's prime time, he says. That's a bit different. All right, here we go. Jaime Munguia. So 27 years of age, 6 foot, 167 and a half. And he looks ready to go. (43-0). 34 knockouts. So he can punch. Although more of an accumulation type of puncher, but still. So former 154-pound champion. There's Jaime Munguia. Black gloves, white trunks with gold. There's his wife at the ringside, looking pretty happy with herself. I don't know how the wives do it, to be honest. It must be pretty hard. Luke, how do you all? What have I missed? Nothing, mate. They're introducing the fighters now. There's Canelo Alvarez, 33 years of age, 5'7.5", 166 3/4, wearing black gloves. Black trunks with sky blue lettering and sky blue gloves. Fourth defense of the 168-pound title. That's that Andy. Canelo got WAWC IBF off Triple G rematch. Stripped the IBF, then fought Danny Jacobs to get it back, then went to super middleweight. Jeez, I'm glad you're on top of all this stuff, mate. I lose track of it. Here he is, the mighty Saul Canelo Alvarez. Or Alvarez, they say. 62, 2-2. Great fighter. All right, so the boys go to center ring. And you can see the height difference straight away. Jaime Munguia looking at the ceiling, which is what Oscar De La Hoya used to do as well. Okay. Yep, now I get it. All right, here we go. Everything up to this point is forgotten about, and it's just now time to get it on. So we're about to get into round number 1. Both fighters hug their trainers and prepare for a war. Let's hope we get a better fight than we had last time with Charlo. I've got a feeling 99.9% chance we will. All right, here we go. Round number 1. This big crowd there. As they ring the bell, here we go. So Canelo is on the back foot as Munguia comes forward. This is probably something we expected. I have Canelo by a late round stoppage or unanimous decision, Luke. Very, very vocal crowd at the moment as Munguia pokes out the jab. Canelo, as he does, just taking his time on the outer side of the ring. So the live odds, Canelo Alvarez minus 550, Jaime Munguia plus 390. I don't know what the hell that means, but if you're a bettor, there you go. So Munguia coming forward. I did say he had white trunks on, but they're more sort of black with sort of white around the outside of the trim. So Munguia busy, jabbing to the head, jabbing to the body. There throws a right hand. Canelo hasn't really thrown anything yet, just having a good look at Munguia. But now starts to come forward and bowls a right hand in that catches Munguia on the elbow. A good start though. Munguia pumping that jab. Canelo misses with the hook. So cautious start so far by Canelo, but Munguia, I like it. He's come out. He's not being silly, but he's poking the jab to the head and body. And I think he would probably take a little bit from Bivol, where you have to be busy against Canelo. You have to get him out of his comfort zone. When he's trying to rest, you need to be busy. And it looks like Munguia is going to be pumping that jab all night. Good right hand, left hook. Didn't land, but good. Still got Canelo's attention. Good start by Munguia. There's got a minute left in round number 1. You would. I got no idea, Luke. I probably shouldn't have even brought it up. It means Canelo's the overwhelming favourite, I think. So I don't know how it works. It wasn't explained to me when I was in Vegas by someone over there. But all right, so the referee's warning Munguia. He's claiming it was Canelo who hit him. I think it was hit him on the break. Canelo lands a hook. Munguia misses a hook. So 30 seconds to go in round number 1. Tough round to score. Canelo being a little bit more active now. Just having a good look at Munguia. Munguia lands a 1-2. Because Canelo seems to be leading with a hook, which is Not usually the recommended practice. I don't know what Munguia's doing there. He's almost going behind the referee there. So, look, a very, very interesting round. Munguia saying he got hit on the break. Hard round to score. Look, I'm going to give that round slightly to Munguia, but it could have gone either way. I just thought he started the round a little bit busier. He poked the jab to the head, poked it to the body. Canelo did pick it up a little bit as the round went on. So, Munguia being warned to keep the punches up. But Canelo did land a couple, but I just thought Munguia matched him with his own punches, and I thought was a busier fighter and landed some jabs to the head and body. So I'm going to give him that round just. Luke says Canelo will fight his fight. Not sure I've ever seen him dragged into anything he didn't want to be a part of. That's the challenge, Luke. This is what Bivol did against him. Got him out of his comfort zone. Normally, he fights when he wants to fight. He rests when he wants to rest. He clinches when he wants to clinch. And Bivol was able to take him out of that and fight his fight, not Canelo's fight. And this is what Munguia has to do. So round number 2, both guys exchange jabs. Canelo misses the hook. Canelo bowls in that right hand. You can see he's looking for that over that jab. But Munguia nice and tight at the moment. Yep, 10-9 Luke for me. Looks like James agrees. Good fight so far. Good start by Munguia. Canelo starting to pick it up now. I didn't expect Canelo to really start offloading this early, but he's looking. I think he's been taken aback. See, Munguia very, very active with that jab. Jab to the head, jab to the body, and then a right hand. He's good start. Good start by Munguia. And I think we're going to have a very entertaining fight here because Munguia is not afraid to engage and Canelo looks up for a war. He seems to be looking for that left hook, does Canelo. Nice there. Good punches by Munguia. Finished with a good hook to the body. Seems to be some good exchange at the moment and Munguia seems to be getting the better of them. You can see he's looking to really get a good start because that's the thing with Canelo. You cannot just let him take the lead straight away. You cannot let him dictate things, and Munguia's fought a very, very good fight so far. Canelo's really tried to pick it up this round, but Munguia's just going with him. Thanks, Volley. Thanks for tuning in today. All the best. So we've got a minute to go in round number 2. And Munguia coming forward now. Good punches from Munguia. And Canelo, he's on the ropes. He's not quite sure what to make of Munguia at this stage. Really good start by Munguia. Very busy. Doubling up the jab, following with the right hand, left hooks to the body. Doing a really, really good job so far. And Canelo just sort of throwing 1s and 2s at a time. He's looking for that lead hook. And Munguia's throwing 2s and 3s. Canelo's throwing 1 at a time. So 20 seconds to go. And I think so far it's another round to Munguia. Good start. All right, so 5 seconds. And that is the end of round number 2. Look, I think another good round to Jaime. However, James makes a good point here. The tactic will bring Jaime undone. Look, good fighters like Canelo, James, just almost, they lull them into a little bit of a false sense of security. Jaime's having success with his volume of punches, but Canelo still hasn't really been flustered too much. He's got his respect, there's no doubt about that. But you can see he's just okay. And does he start to lull him in as thinking he's having a little bit more success than what he's actually having? And then we get Canelo time, the big hook or the overhand right. But look, I've got to give Munguia the first 2 rounds so far, which means Canelo can't wait too long to start getting into gear because if he finds himself 3 or 4 rounds behind, it's pretty hard to come back. Luke, a quick one there. Really hope Munguia stays on the outside and keeps the 1-2s. He's slowly break him down. We'll have a unanimous decision easy. Well, the first 2 rounds, been really good, been really busy, and that's what he needs to do. As I said earlier, he has to take Canelo out of his comfort zone. And when Canelo's trying to rest, then he needs to pick it up. So round number 3, pretty much the start, or the same as it has been for the previous 2. Munguia coming forward. And Canelo just seems to be getting beaten to the punch at the moment. And not big punches, just those little jabs, little right hands, hooks to the body. Really good right hand and a left hook to the body from Munguia. And then 2 jabs and a right. So he's doing really, really well at the moment, is Munguia. And Canelo seems to be having trouble with the speed of Munguia. Canelo's starting to come forward, but Munguia still pumps that jab. And Ella, so far, Munguia, I've got him winning the first 2 rounds, 10-9. And doing a good job in this round as well. He's had a really high work rate. Canelo goes with the right and left to the body. Canelo just almost lands that right hand there. Just scun off the gloves. Good jabs from Munguia, throwing 2-3 jabs at a time. And you can see they've done their homework from watching Bivol against Canelo. Be busy. And not busy as far as throwing silly shots, just busy with the straight punches. And then waiting for the counter hook or body shot, and then just countering those all night with straight shots. Good shot spot from Canelo though. He lands a right hand and then a jab as Munguia step back. And he's just having a little bit of trouble at this range, trying to get his range at the moment, Canelo. He's poking out that jab, but Munguia just looks a lot quicker and busier. Just misses the hook. Does Canelo. But he almost, I'm not sure if it's just me, but even the fast pace of the first 2 rounds, he looks a little bit gassed, Canelo. As Munguia backs him into the corner. And Canelo's just sort of happy just to stay there. Right hand was a little bit low from Munguia. The referee says keep them up as we have 30 seconds to go in round number 3. And so far, I've got to say, it looks like Bivol all over again. And Munguia is good punches, combinations. Has he got Canelo hurt here? Canelo backs to the ropes. Munguia throws a 1, 2, 3, 4, and he backs off now, but good round by Munguia. Yeah, Luke, that's what I said. Canelo, yeah, he looks gassed. Now, I don't know how a fighter of Canelo's stature can be gassed after 3 rounds, but again, it comes back to Bivol. The same thing, and again, Freddie Roach in the corner, but it's the volume of punches, it's the continual straight punches, always offsetting Canelo, not letting himself set. The pumping the jab, the 2s and 3s and 4 jabs, and then following with the right, and then just not being there. So Canelo can't set himself. And then when Canelo starts to punch and then starts to rest, then he goes again. It's great tactics. And this is the secret of this is the thing that Bivol did to Canelo. As I said, he took him out of his comfort zone. When he was trying to rest, that's when he would press the attack. To the point where we threw about 6, 7, 8 punches there in a row, and Canelo had nothing, and including a really, really good right hand. So for me so far, 3 rounds to zip for Munguia as we enter round number 4. And Canelo starts the round looking gassed. All right, so same old. Canelo looking for his shot. So scorecards, Larry has it 29-28 to Canelo. I don't know how you could give a round to Canelo so far, but he's given him 1. And Canelo, he's looking for the punches, but not being able to land them at this stage. Although he does, it was a bit of a grazing a grazing hook from Canelo. Munguia, though, just now, though, he's starting to lead with hooks and overhand rights. Oh, good right hand from Canelo lands. So I was just going to say, the thing I'm not liking in this particular round is now Munguia's gone away from the jab and is now trying to trade with Canelo, which is exactly what Canelo is going to need him to do if he's going to get back into this fight. Good point, Luke. Who knows? All right, so we're halfway through round number 4. Better round for Canelo. He's landed some good shots. And as I said, Munguia's gone away a little bit from the 2 and 3 jabs followed by the right hand in this round. Is now starting to load up a bit more, which is not a great idea. Because he's playing right into Canelo's hands. He's in close. He's giving Canelo that range where before he was in and out. He does pin Canelo on the ropes at this stage, but not landing anything of note. But Canelo, he still looks a little gassed to me. We've got 1 minute to go in round number 4. So the volume is probably there for Munguia, but not really landing in anything there. That was a grazing right hand. Nice right hand from Canelo lands. Uppercuts inside. Great fight so far, guys. I can't really hear it that well. I don't know what that's like. Oh! Right uppercut from Canelo. Drops Munguia. Exactly what we thought might happen. He got away from the jab and the right hand afterwards. Started to go toe-to-toe with Canelo, and he's been dropped by a big right uppercut. And Canelo leads with a hook, another right hand. We've got 15 seconds to go in round number 4. Big round for Canelo. And I don't know why Munguia is trying to trade with Canelo again. He's lost around 10-8. Let it go. Try and recoup your senses. So I've got a feeling that's the end of round 4. I've got a feeling that Freddie Roach is not going to be happy at all with Munguia in that round. He went right away from the success he had in the first 3 rounds, started trading with Canelo, and boom, that's what happens when you trade with a puncher. Golden rule, guys, never punch with a puncher. I was looking at the replay here. So he makes him miss with a hook, and then, oh yeah, beautiful punches. It was a light left hook just to set him up, and then the right uppercut right up the middle, landed flush, and down he went. Beautiful punches. Good point there, James. Jaime getting tired. Yep. He looks, and this is the thing. I mean, both fighters have showed fatigue so far, but beautiful right uppercut. There was a decoy left hook to the head, right uppercut straight up the middle, and he almost actually clipped him with a left hook on the way down as well. So, yep, good point there, Quantum Leap. We're only into round number 5, and so far both fighters have showed fatigue. So, a little bit quieter start to the round. You can see the confidence with Canelo, though. He knows he can get to Munguia now. He knows Munguia is starting to tire just a little bit. And that jab now is more of a poke rather than a spearing jab that he had early. And look, this is why championship fights are 12 rounds, guys, because it's not a 2 or 3 round fight. It's a matter of tactics and strategy and heart as the fight goes on. Hanoi Tripper, I would say 3 rounds to 1 for Munguia, but Canelo with the big knockdown in round number 4 there, Hanoi. So be pretty much even for me. Good jab from Canelo, starting to find his range with that jab. Well, Luke, he's got to get back to the 1-2s. If he doesn't, he's going to get knocked out. Because he's starting to stand with Canelo even in close, and Canelo is ripping the uppercuts and hooks to the head and body. So Munguia at the start with that range was that 1 and 2 from that long range, but now he's getting in close and allowing himself to be in range for the those counter uppercuts and hooks from Canelo. So halfway through round number 5. And now you can see Canelo really looking for that uppercut now. The other thing I can sort of see now is that Munguia, he is starting to get tagged with some jabs. He's he's being open on the counter now. He's coming in and punching, and rather than stepping right out like he did early, now he's standing within range to Canelo, who's now starting to land his hooks and uppercuts. So look, an even type around 1 minute to go in round number 5. But Munguia is more now throwing punches almost out of desperation more than pinpointing them now. And Canelo's just looking for the openings and lands an overhand right. Or right hand, left hand from Canelo. And those hands are coming down. Canelo's with a 1-2, looking for that hook. 30 seconds to go in round number 5. Oh, uppercut just missed from Canelo. But Munguia does look gassed at this stage. But so does Canelo, having said that. But the difference is now it's a Canelo type of fight. It's in close, trading uppercuts and hooks. Munguia needs to be on the outside. He's not going to outpunch Canelo. Right, 5 seconds to go in round number 5. And that is the end of round number 5. I'm going to give that round to Canelo. So after 5 rounds, I've got it 3 rounds to 2, but with the 10-8 round. So for me, I have it dead even. Larry has it here. The judge on here has Canelo Alvarez ahead by 2 points, but I've got it 3 rounds to 2 for Munguia. Some good punches traded there, but that 10-8 round to Canelo makes it even to me. Oh, so it will be 57 apiece. But having said that, it might be even on the scorecards, but now to me it looks like Canelo's winning the fight as far as who's getting the better of the exchanges. He lost those first 3 rounds, in my opinion, but those last 2 rounds, I think obviously definitely the 4th, but that 5th round I thought was Canelo getting close and landing some good shots. All right. Round number 6. It's amazing in these main events how quick the rounds go. Oh, Canelo misses a big hook there. So let's maybe see in the second half of the fight whether Munguia gets his second win and goes back to what he was doing at the start. So Larry Hazard has Canelo up by 2 points. So he has it 3 rounds to 2 and a 10-8 round. So I don't see that as the case, but look, each to their own. Yeah, good point, James. The close rounds are going to go to Canelo, aren't they? So maybe it is right. Now Canelo's starting to come forward. You can see he's really starting to plant his feet and throw those uppercuts and hooks. Just taking his time now. He looks very comfortable in there all of a sudden, does Canelo. As he throws a nice jab on the counter. Yeah. He's not looking, look like he's got the stamina so far, Andy. But he's still, look, it's one thing to be coming at Canelo, but you've got to be busy. He had success early because he was throwing lots of jabs and nice little right hands in there and then stepping out, where now he's just in Canelo's range and not throwing. And Canelo's like just drawing him in, and then he uppercuts and hooks and lands. Yeah, nice lead hook from Canelo as we're halfway through round number 6. It's a good 5-6 punch combination from Munguia, but nothing really landed. Canelo looks like he's taking the round off here, if I'm going to be honest. Hasn't really thrown many at all as Munguia is coming forward and being very busy. Maybe too busy. Does he really need to be throwing the amount of punches he's throwing and just punching himself out even more? Because Canelo looks like he's taking the round off. Yeah, good fight so far. Really, really good fight. And the referee has warned both fighters for watching their heads. As Canelo pumps out a couple of good jabs, Munguia comes back. Canelo misses the hook. As we are 30 seconds down. And I've got to say, guys, both fighters looking fatigued and we're only 6 rounds down. I've got to say I've got Munguia winning this round so far, just by work rate. Both fighters have landed a couple of good punches. counter hook and jab from Canelo. As we have 5 seconds to go in round number 6. All right, guys, be back in 5. All right, back again. Here we go. That was good timing. Round number 7. All right, I gave that round to Munguia just, to be honest, guys, but I was probably being a little bit generous. But, good jab from Munguia. Good counter hook by Canelo. Munguia seems like he's found his second wind here because he's started very busy. Oh, good counter right hand from Canelo. Beautiful right hand as Munguia pulled out. But Munguia, look, he's fought a really, really good fight so far. It's just whether he's got the intelligence and ring IQ to finish, because at the moment he's just, I won't say it's out of desperation, but he's throwing a lot of punches just for the sake of throwing a lot of punches. Where Canelo is just sitting back, waiting his chance. It was that Canelo's landed 111, Munguia 87 so far in total punches. Munguia coming forward. Not a bad round so far from Munguia. I know we're only just under a halfway through the round, but Munguia's sort of gone back to that early round style that he had of being busy with the jab, following with the right, and then getting out of there. He's been tagged on the counter so far. Canelo being very, very patient here, but I wouldn't mind seeing him just pick up the pace a little bit as he throws a right uppercut followed by a left hook to the body. Munguia being busy, but not really landing a lot. And then you've got Canelo who's quite content just to lay on the ropes and then land a nice, well, that was a nice hook from Canelo. As he hurt Munguia here. He sort of stopped him in his tracks with that left hook. Although it looks like he's okay now, but Canelo is getting very, very close with his shots at the moment. So all right, we've got 40 seconds to go in round number 7. Good round so far by both fighters. As Canelo starts to come forward, Munguia backs up. Good even round so far, but it's a very, very tough round to score, this one. Munguia definitely looking fatigued as he takes a right hand counter left hook on the break. Well, I gave Munguia a close round last time, so I'm going to give that close round to Canelo, even though either one could have went either way. So, look, that's, what's that, 4, what's that, 7 down? So, what's that, 4 rounds to 3 for Munguia, I think? Well, the commentators, Luke, have got, well, they did have Canelo winning by 2 points before that round. So, for round sale, look, I've given Munguia 4 out of the 7 rounds, which would make the fight even on my card because of the 10-8 round. But the judges they're using, or the experts they're using on the telecast, had Canelo up 4 rounds to 2 plus the knockdown. So, Yeah, it's a tough one. Well, either way, I think Canelo, you would say, would be winning the fight. You just get the impression that maybe those couple of close rounds went to Canelo, plus the knockdown. But for me, I've got it dead even at the moment. Jizzy landed a beautiful left hook to the body on the replay there, did Canelo. All right, so we go into round number 8, I think. Yes, round number 8. And Munguia on the jabs to start the round. So Larry Hazard has it 68-64. He's given the last 4 rounds to Canelo. I don't see it that one-sided. However, if he sees it that way, well, then I'm assuming the judges see it that way. I just don't see Canelo being 4 points in front. I think Munguia's done a good job, but so what would he have it? He had it, what's that? He had it 5 rounds to 2 and a 10-8 round. So I don't see how Canelo's won 5 of the 7. But anyway, maybe 4-3. But either way, I think Canelo's in front. All right, 1 minute down in round number 8. Munguia pops out the jab. He's busy. Yeah, he's pouring it on at the moment, but Canelo, very, very cool. Munguia's throwing about 20 unanswered punches here. Canelo just brushes them off to the side, waits for the opening, and now starts to come forward. Well, you'd almost have to give Munguia this round just by pure volume of punches, even though not much has really landed. And Canelo gets warned for a low blow. Munguia is good to go, and off we go. Those hands are starting to come down a little bit from Munguia, though. As Canelo starts to come forward now, and he said, all right, you've had the first half of the round to do your thing. Now I'm going to do my thing. And Munguia just looks like he's starting to wilt just a little bit as Canelo lands a right uppercut, left hook that just grazed the chin. And Munguia trying his best to go with Canelo, but maybe this is the experience that's coming to the fore now. Jab by Canelo. So 30 seconds to go in round number 8. Good jab again from Canelo. He starts to pop that out there. I think he's done really well in the second half of this round. Munguia starts to come forward and throw, but nothing landing there. His punches have really got nothing on them at the moment. So we're almost at the end of round number 8. Look, I'm going to give that round to Canelo, even though, look, Munguia probably threw about 3 times as many punches. I just think that he didn't really land anything, and Canelo landed some good jabs. He went to the body a couple of times, landed the odd uppercut. So, look, I'm going to give Canelo that round. So I think at this stage, you would have him comfortably ahead by probably a couple of points. Round 9 coming up there, Ella. I've got Canelo in front by 2 points, but I've got a feeling the commentators on here will have him in front by maybe 5 points. I don't see it being that one-sided, though. Yep, that was round 8, about to be round number 9. I get the feeling now, what are we, 2/3 of the way through the fight, that Munguia is starting just to wilt a little bit. Canelo he stood up really early in that round as well. Whether he starts to really come on in this round and tries to get the younger guy out of there. Right, so round number 9. And Munguia misses a wild right hand there, and Canelo pumps that jab. Doesn't normally have a solid jab, does Canelo, but he's used it to good effect tonight. Munguia tries to throw that uppercut up the middle, but Canelo blocks it. And look, credit to Munguia. He's really trying to bring it to Canelo, but he's just calm as a cucumber at the moment. Canelo, he's just inside. He's nice and tight, taking a lot of those gloves on the elbows and gloves and hips, and countering with good little inside shots. Although good shots landed by Munguia there. Good combination. Canelo comes back with the right hand, and we've got a bit of action here in round number 9. Munguia, good set of punches there. There's another right hand. I just don't know about the volume of punches at the moment. He's really throwing a lot of punches. But Canelo has been really picky and picking his shots really well. All right, so we're almost halfway through round number 9. Good fight so far. And both of them just exchanging punches. It was called, Canelo said it was low. I didn't really see that as a low punch, but the referee's warning him for it, so. All right, so do we touch gloves? No, we get straight back into it. Canelo throws a cheeky little left hook that just was caught on the gloves. All right, got a minute to go in round number 9. And again, like a lot of the rounds, Munguia being a lot busier. But Canelo just content just to wear the punches on the gloves and the elbows and then come back with his own counters. He has landed some good shots, I will say, in this round, Munguia. So I would probably give him the round, although Canelo spins him into the ropes. And the referee separates him before he can offload. 30 seconds to go in round number 9. And a good round from Munguia so far. Well, that was a little bit low from Canelo. And those hands are getting really low from Munguia at this stage. So 10 seconds to go in round number 9. And there is the bell to end round number 9. I'm going to actually give that round to Munguia. So in rounds, pretty close. Pretty close. I can't remember what I've sort of said through the journey, but maybe Canelo 5-4. Is that why I had it? I think 5-4 plus a 9. It's probably got Canelo in front by 2 points, but I've got a feeling the judges on here, as they bring up Tank Davis and David Benavides on the big screen. Tank Davis. A little bit of a dance. All right. Almost into the championship round. So, look, I'm going to say I've got Canelo in front by 2 points, but as I said, I've got a feeling the commentator's going to have him up by even more. All right. Here we go. Round number 10. Let's see what the judges, the commentators have the stats as. Again, Munguia comes forward. So they've given that Canelo, that round to Canelo as well. I just can't see it. He threw 23 punches for the round. So they've got him in front by 6 points. I don't understand that. I've got him in front by 2. Maybe I'm being a little bit generous. What do you guys think? I just think Canelo's winning, but by 6 points, I don't understand it. That would mean, what was it, round number 10? So I would have it, that's what, 6 rounds to 2. Oh, Munguia lands a good hook there. And credit to both fighters here, guys. Both of them showing a lot of heart here, ripping in, hooks, uppercuts, as they go head-to-head at the moment. Yeah, it's interesting how they do it, Luke. And you're right, that's exactly what happened in Fundora and Zoo. Fundora threw more punches, but Tim landed the better punches. But this is Canelo Alvarez we're talking about, though. But look, I think he's definitely winning the fight as we're halfway through round number 10. I just don't see how you could have him in front by so much. Six points. And Munguia pausing on here, landing some good shots. But look, it's been a really calculated performance by Canelo. He showed again why he's such a great fighter. Munguia throwing a lot more punches, but Canelo just picking his shots a bit better. And again, the volume of punches this round, Munguia has thrown a lot more, but hasn't really landed a lot. And I suppose the judges are looking for those really clean scoring punches, of which Canelo seems to be the one. There's a good right hand there, Canelo. As we have 30 seconds to go in the round. You can see he's looking for that overhand right. So the round's still up for grabs at the moment. Volume with Munguia, quality with Canelo. All right, 10 seconds to go. Oh, right hand just grazed the chin of Munguia. And that is the end of round number 10 as Canelo lands a stiff jab right on the bell. Yeah, Dexter, I agree with that, mate. Canelo winning, but exactly not by 6 rounds. Look, I'm going to give him another close round there, which would make him 3 points up. But I've got a feeling, he did land a good left hook there on the replay, but Canelo took it very, very well. And there's a jab and a nice right hand from Canelo that lands. So look, really hard round that one. I'm going to give it to Canelo because it's Canelo as you do, but I thought the volume was with Munguia, but the quality of punches with Canelo. So we've got 2 rounds to go. I'm going to say that Canelo Alvarez is maybe 3 points in front. James says the commentary is so the judging doesn't look as cooked as it really is. Yeah, I just don't know how you could have Canelo winning by that much. It's been a good fight. I think he's fought a really, really good fight, but Munguia deserves a bit more respect than that. I think he's won his share of the rounds. I probably got Canelo in front by 3 points at this stage. So 6 rounds to 4 in that 10-8 round. Let's see what the experts have it on here. There you go. Same as me, Dexter. I've got it 6 rounds to 4 and then the 10-8 round. So when the judges or the commentators' scores come up, I'll let you know. But so far, not much action. We're 30 seconds into round number 11. Munguia coming forward, but not really throwing a lot. So what's that there? Body shots landed. 44 to Munguia, 43 to Canelo. Both guys exchanged jabs. And this is why I think Canelo beats Benavides, just my opinion. Because Benavides will come at him throwing lots of punches, and Canelo is a great counter puncher. Very hard to hit cleanly. So that again, they gave that round to Canelo. They have him in front by 7 points, 98-91. I don't understand it, guys. That's, to me, way off the mark. Way off the mark. But I suppose we'll see at the end of the fight. Maybe I'm the one that's way off the mark. So Munguia, look, I'll give him credit with he's surprised me with his stamina. He's still throwing lots of punches, but Canelo just so cool, calm, and collected. He's fought a really good fight so far. As he complains to the referee, must have been about a head clash. All right, so no cup, so we're good to go. Who knows, Dexter? Your guess is as good as mine. We'll see when the judges tally up the scores, though, I suppose, won't we? Maybe it's us that don't know what we're talking about, but I don't know. I just can't see how you'd have Canelo up by 7 points. All right, so we've got a minute to go in round number 11, the penultimate round. Some good action in this round. Both fighters landing their share of punches. But again, I think Canelo's landed the more effective punches. Look, I don't think Munguia has done his stocks any damage here tonight. He's fought a really good fight, well-conditioned, good tactics. He's fought very, very well, but he's just come up against a great fighter. "30 seconds to go in round number 11. I'm probably going to give this round to Canelo as well so far. Just think he's landed the cleaner shots. But Munguia trying his heart out to finish the fight strong. And you just see Canelo just picking his shots, just allowing Munguia to punch, waits till he gets close, and then lands good uppercuts, hooks, body shots. Right uppercut just landed there, just missed there, I should say. And that is the end of round number 11. So I would give that round to Canelo just. Is a rematch likely, even though the so-called experts have a one-sided affair? I wouldn't say at this stage, Luke. At this stage of Canelo's career, I don't think he's really looking at rematches. I think he's just looking to clean out the fighters in his division and just tick them off one by one. But Munguia, look, some great fights for him down the track. Is that could be Charlo, Caleb Plant. Maybe he fights a Benavides or a Morale, although Morale looks to have gone up. So still some good fights out there. And I think he's done a really, really good job tonight, just lacking a little bit of experience. I know he's had 43 fights, but he's just, I think he's been shown up a little bit from Canelo's poise, his experience, his IQ. I think he's just thrown way too many punches, and a lot of them have missed and hit gloves, where Canelo has just been so clinical and just picked his shots and pretty much had a masterclass. Round 12 coming up, Ella. I've got Canelo winning by 4 points. Yep, Dexter, I agree, mate. Here we go, round number 12. I think it is. Yep, round number 12. I can't sort of see it on the screen there. So Munguia starts strong. And Canelo, as he has for the whole fight, nice and calm. I'm really impressed, I will say, with Canelo with his work rate as well. I thought he was gassed after 2 or 3 rounds, but he's really dug in well and really showed his experience in this fight. And Munguia, as I said, a little bit inexperienced by just throwing punches for the sake of throwing punches, and you can't do that against Canelo. Because Canelo just reads the play so well. All right, so a minute down in round number 12. So I've got Canelo in front by 4 points at this stage. 7 rounds to 4. Sounds like a really vocal crowd in there tonight too. Mexicans, they love their boxing. So both boys turning it on with a minute and a half to go in round number 12. Pretty much the same as we've seen probably in the last sort of 5, maybe 6 rounds. Munguia trying hard. He's just, because he's throwing so many punches that really have no rhythm to them. Canelo's just seeing them and picking them off and countering, and he's made the job a lot easier on Canelo than maybe what he should have. But again, just a little bit of inexperience at this level. Oh, right hand from Canelo lands with a minute to go. Good right hand that buckled the knees of Munguia. He keeps coming forward, does Munguia. Just a really good performance by Canelo. Yes, he does, if you ask me, Dexter. But that's Usyk over Fury. All right, so we've got 30 seconds to go. And again, Munguia, look, he's tried his absolute heart out, and this is so well conditioned too, because he's still throwing punches like he was in the first 2 rounds. But Canelo just picking his shots. We've got 10 seconds to go, so it's going to go the distance. Munguia misses with a big overhand right, and Canelo makes him pay with a sneaky right uppercut counter as we count down to the final bell. And great fight, guys, and mutual respect shown by both boys at the bell. And, yeah, great performance. So, look, I had it 8 rounds to 4 for Canelo, and with the knockdown, so I've got it 116, 111 in my books. So, Luke, cheers for the watch-along. Great to be able to somewhat virtually see the fight without paying for it when you don't have the funds. Oh, mate, I hear you. I'm doing my best. But I'm certainly no colour commentary guy. But, look, yeah, I hope I sort of laid it out for you in some way anyway. But look, I've got Canelo winning 116 to 111. Let's just see how far off the mark I am, because based on Larry Hazard on the telecast, I think he had it Canelo by about 8 or 9 points by the sounds of things. So Dexter, yes, I will be doing the Usyk fight. Yes, I will be, because that will be. I won't be doing the whole card because I'm not going to get up way too early, but I will be doing the majority of the card anyway, mate. But not the whole card. I might try and get. I'm assuming the main event will be on about 8 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. So I'll make sure I get at least a couple of hours in anyway, mate. I'm not sure what time it starts, so I've got it. Let's have a quick look. Main event. Okay. So, it's not even on here at the moment. Main event must be on DAZN, is it? Don't forget tomorrow night too, guys. Monday night, Jason Maloney on that card with Inouye and Neary. Lomachenko, Kambosos next weekend. There you go. It's one I missed. So I've got Kambosos, Lomachenko next weekend. The following week, Usyk and Fury. UK time about 6 p.m. Okay, I'm not quite sure what it is over here, mate. Normally, the last time the show started at 3 in the morning, so it's a big night. Luke, listen to watch alongs. Even when I do a buy fight, can't stand most commentators. It's all one-sided. Yeah, well, they're all paid for by the promoters, of course, mate. All commentaries hazardous. Oh, heaps better than those idiots on TV. Thanks, mate. It's a little bit easier when you haven't got millions of people, or not millions, but a lot of people watching you, mate. You can be a little bit more relaxed. But what do we got there? So the punch stats. Canelo, 234 of 536. Munguia, 170 of 563. Power shots, 151 of 304 for Canelo. And 96 of 328 for Munguia. As we go to the scorecards, I think. Here we go. See if I can get just a little bit more volume here, guys. I appreciate the comments there, guys. 12 rounds. Here we go. $117, $110. $116, $111. $115, $112. And Canelo Alvarez wins a unanimous decision. So, what was it? 117, 112 was it? 116, 111 and 115, 112. I think that's what it was. But Canelo Alvarez with a unanimous points decision over Jaime Munguia. Certainly wasn't the 8 or 9 points that the commentators had it, but still a comprehensive win by Canelo Alvarez. But look, just to put it all, I suppose to wrap it up and put a bow on it, Munguia really came to fight. Just a nice looking belt they've given him there as well as a commemorative belt for winning the fight. But look, I thought Canelo nice and relaxed, composed, cool, calm, everything else. Munguia, look, he tried. Yeah, Dexter. Yep, that was the way I had it. 116, 111. Munguia, look, he tried hard. He threw a lot of punches. I just don't think he had that poise. There's Ben Kilty in the background there. There you go. One of Australia's. Is he a rep for one of the? I think it might be the IBF, a representative of the sanctioning body. No worries at all there, Dexter. Thanks to everyone that's joined in. But yeah, again, as I said, I think Canelo really calculated performance. I thought he really picked the shots well, fought to his experience level, his IQ level, and Munguia, for me, just didn't have that poise. He threw a lot of unnecessary punches. He tried really hard, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think he was smart with the way he threw his punches. He'd throw 5 punches when he really only needed to throw 2. And look, that's just levels, as they say. And Canelo is at the top level. He's had a lot of big fights. He's had a lot of experience in these type of events. So, and you can just tell that tonight. Munguia, as I said, just tried a little bit too hard. Where next for Canelo? Let's hope it's Benavides, Dexter, but I've got a feeling it'll be Belunga in September. And it's a little bit of a yawn factor for me, if I'm going to be honest. I'm not excited by that fight one bit. We would have loved it to have been Benavides, but with him fighting in June, that's certainly not going to happen. So Canelo speaking now. Yeah. So he's saying he's the number one pound for pound fighter in the world, which is arguable. I mean, he was until he lost to Bivol. I would probably put him at number 3 at this stage, maybe number 2. Talking about Benavides now. What's he going to say to that? He's going to rest. Enjoy the family. If the money's right. If the money's right, he's going to fight right now. What do you say, 150 you wanted? Thanks, Dexter. Thanks for joining in, mate. All the best to you and the crew from the UK. Well, Canelo says he can fight whoever he wants and do whatever he wants. But he didn't actually say he was going to fight Benavides. So it's an interesting one. So, all right, guys, that's probably about it for the telecast. Really good win from Canelo Alvarez. I thought he fought a very, very smart fight. Yeah, like he needs the money, Dexter, yep. 150 he wanted to fight Benavides, which is just ridiculous. But that's another way to do it. Say, hey, I'll fight. I just want to be paid for it. I just want the coin. And then prices himself out of it. So not a bad little ploy, but I think Canelo's above that. But yeah, as I said, guys, just a really, really good performance by Canelo. He did exactly what he needed to do. Still a little bit of a concern with gassing out a little bit early and whether it would work against Benavides, being a bit stronger, a bit bigger and stronger as well with Benavides. But yeah, just a really clinical performance by Canelo Alvarez. And I think Munguia will learn a lot from the fight. I just think, even though he's had that 43 fights, just that inexperience showed where he just threw way too many punches, punched himself out a little bit, left himself open a fair bit as well. But, you know, as he gets more experience, he's only 27 years of age, so I'm sure he'll get better and there'll be bigger fights for him. Mutzi, what's that? Campara upset Matias. Going to be a tough one, Mutzi. Oh, look, of course he can. But the thing that concerns me is fighting him in Puerto Rico. That's going to be hard, mate. It's going to be really, really tough to beat him over there. And I'm hoping he can. I really do hope he gets the win. But we'll just see, mate. But look, I'm loving the fact that he's one of, 10 or 11 Australian boxers are fighting for world titles this year. So shows are on the right track. So they're interviewing Munguia at the moment. Just pretty much saying the loss hurts, of course. But he'll be back, 27 years of age. These fights, plenty of other fighters have been in this position, of course. Canelo himself was here 11 years ago when he fought Floyd Mayweather Jr. I was actually at that fight in Vegas, and he got absolutely schooled that night, but it made him a better fighter. Mayweather reminded me a little bit of this fight in some respects, where Mayweather was so composed as Canelo was tonight. Canelo probably threw a lot of unnecessary punches in that fight, like Munguia did as well, and Canelo learnt from it. It made him a better fighter. He came back. Yes, he's had one loss since, but for the amount of fights he's had and the big fights that he's had, he did learn from it and became a lot better fighter. I'm not sure, nothing's been said from Canelo to Oscar at this stage. He's just in the background laying low by the looks of things at the moment. Let's hope Canelo's above that, where he doesn't get involved in that crap. He doesn't need to do that. So, all right, guys. Well, I think we're going to call it a day or a night if you're overseas. Really appreciate you all joining me today with the watch along. I hope you got something out of it. If you were watching the fight, hopefully this interaction with everyone else made the day a little bit more enjoyable. And if you couldn't watch the fight, well, I hope I laid it out nicely for you so you knew exactly what was going on. But as I said earlier, on Monday night, we will be doing a bit of a crossover between Talking Boxing and the Watch Along. The fights in Japan for Jason Maloney. The fights in Japan start at 6 o'clock. Talking Boxing starts at 7 o'clock. So we might get an hour or an hour and a half, whatever, of Talking Boxing. And then we'll get into the Watch Along with Jason after that. But whenever Jason comes on, we will obviously cross to that and do the Watch Along with his fight, and probably in a way as well, of course. So tune in for that. Next weekend, I'll be in Perth for Lomachenko and Kambosos, but we will do the Watch Along for Fury and Usyk in a couple of weeks' time. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Really appreciate you joining in, and look forward to chatting next time.